Gaga. Say what? Unto Gaga. Are you kidding me? Is Lady Gaga in this? Unto Gaga, his minister, spake the word. There's Gaga. O Gaga, thou minister that rejoicest my spirit. So it sounds like Gaga is a man or minister. Minister. Okay, so a minister of the gods. Unto Lamu and Lahamu will I send thee. Okay? Unto Lamu and Lahamu will I send thee. Thou canst attain. Thou shalt cause to be brought before thee. Let the gods, all of them, make ready for a feast, at a banquet. Let them sit. Let them eat bread, and let them mix wine. That for Marduk, their avenger, they may decree the fate. O Gaga, go Gaga, stand before them, and all that I tell thee, repeat unto them, and say, Ansar, your son, hath sent me. The purpose of his heart he hath made known unto me. The purpose of his heart he hath made known unto me. Okay, so double saying the same sentence. I've seen this a couple times before. I'm not sure why. Maybe in case one of them got knocked out, or I don't know. Double something special, significance. It does that a couple times, where it repeats the whole sentences 2 or 3 times. He saith that Tiamat, our mother, remember Tiamat's the mother, hath conceived a hatred for us. With all her force she rageth, full of wrath. All the gods have turned to her. With those whom ye created, they go at her side. They are banded together, and at the side of Tiamat they advance. Okay, they banded together, the gods, they went by her side, okay? They go by her side, and on the side of Tiamat they advance. Okay, so they're advancing by her side. They're becoming more powerful by her side. Okay, like we read earlier, the gods, he created thee in the image of them, gods. Okay, they are furious. They devise mischief without resting day and night. Okay, so how many times have they said that now? 3 or 4 times, right? So 3 or 4 times they've said, they are furious. They devise mischief without resting day or night. So they're going. They're having a wild, spun out life, huh? They're having a blast. They're partying. Tiamat, mama's getting mad. Okay? She wants wrath upon thee. She wants to destroy, man. She's going at it. So they prepare for battle, fuming and raging. They have joined their forces and are making war. Okay, so they've joined their forces and are making war. Huber, who formed all things. Okay, that's something to write down. Huber. Let's write that down. He formed all things. Wow. So there's a creator here. He formed all things. Interesting. Huber. Okay, he formed all things. It's good to at least take notes so we have it on the video too for future write-up. So he formed all things, hath made in addition weapons invincible. So hath made in addition weapons invincible. She hath spawned monster serpents, sharp of tooth and merciless of fang. With poison instead of blood she hath filled their bodies. Fierce monster vipers she hath clothed with terror. With splendor she hath decked them. She hath made them of lofty stature. Whoever beholdeth them, terror overcometh him. Whoever behold them, the terror overcometh him. Wow. So these monsters, they may have been like those the kind of reptilian-looking monsters that are scaring him, or they could be referring to terror like nightmares. freaking out and like a bad trip or something, or a moment of just freaking out, okay? The terror overwhelms them constantly when this presence comes upon them, okay? Their bodies rear up, and none can withstand their attack. She hath set up vipers and dragons and monster Lahamu. So let's write that down too. Lahamu, which we've seen now said a couple times. Lahamu is a monster. Oh, right? Lahamu. Okay. The hurricanes and raging bounds, the scorpion men. Ooh, scorpion men. So it kind of reminds me of the Aliens movie, what they used to refer to. They have meet all the descriptions of what in Revelation story, what the demons look like. Scorpion men. Think of the movie Aliens. Go look up Aliens. Scorpion men. Okay, and like locusts or whatever. That's how it is in the Bible, at least. And mighty tempests and fishmen and rams. The bare merciless weapons without fear of the fight. So they're not scared, no fear. Her commands are mighty, none can resist them. After this fashion, huge of stature, so huge, big, gigantic, hath she made 11 monsters, huge in stature, among the gods who are her sons, inasmuch as he hath given her support. She hath exalted King you. Okay, so as much as he hath given her support, she hath exalted King you, which was one of her sons, I take it. King you, which that may be where we get the word king, because he's a ruler. He's exalted. He is all high, almighty, right? So they call him King you, where the word probably came from. So if that's the truth, if the name happens to fit the description, this man's name is King you, and we use the word king today to describe a high and mighty person, why would they take this word from the Sumerian text? Why is it so important? See? Interesting. King you. And that's exalted one. Amidst, she hath raised him to power, like you would do with a king, to march before the forces, to lead the host, to give the battle signal, to advance to the attack, like a blitz, the direct to the battle, to control the fight. Unto him hath she entrusted. In costly raiment, she hath made him sit, saying, I have uttered thy spell. In assembly of the gods, I have raised thee to power. So you start to see her sons are the same form she is, in a sense, and they're kings, right? And then she's got gods who associate themselves. And remember the one called Uma Hubar that formed all things? He's also a god. And what did he say he makes? Right here. Hath made in addition weapons invisible. Bam. She hath spawned monster serpents. So pretty much with this Umar Hubar, whoever this is a god that can form things. Bam. What do you think that could be? Wind? Water? Fire? Earth? Forms all things. What are all things? Heaven and earth. All things. Umar Hubar. We might have to do that code thing, on this name. Because pretty much you're seeing there's a kings, which are her sons. So she has her sons who rule over the lands. And she's not too happy with them, right? So she makes a bunch of these monsters to create startups crap, okay? Looks like she wants drama. She's not happy with how they're going about things, it looks like. And so she's going to battle with them with her gods, okay? To direct the battle, to control the fight. And to him hath she entrusted remnants and made him sit, saying, I've uttered thy spell in the assembly of the gods. So now she's putting a spell on him, and these gods are going to try to give him a butt whooping, I raised thee to power. The dominion over all the gods have I entrusted unto thee. Okay, so it's almost like what we think about angels, where God used to control the angels and tell the angels what to do. In a sense, Taimud is, in a sense, doing the same thing. Or Tiamat is the mother, and she's kind of putting a dominion spell over the gods, which she's entrusted unto thee. Be thou exalted, thou my chosen spouse. Interesting. Chosen spouse. Okay. May they magnify thy name over all them, the Anunnaki. Okay, and again, I'm using this word right now, but actually the word would be Anu gods. Okay, that's the word that was supposed to be used right there, which you would say Ana Elohim. And you know what's interesting? That kind of sounds like Elohim, doesn't it? Alahym, which means mighty one. Elohim means mighty ones. So Anu God. When it said Anunnaki, it's Anu gods, multiple, which would be in Hebrew Elohim or Elohim. See, depending on if you're talking singular, talking about one of the gods. If you're talking about two gods, you're talking in reference to Elohim. Pretty interesting. So it's not Anunnaki, because that, like we said, we already debunked Zechariah Stitchin. That word does not exist in the Sumerian text. Okay? Again, if you have any doubt that you think I'm making this up, go watch part 1 where we debunk the word Anunnaki. Okay? Moving on. So we know, may they magnify thy name over all of them, the Ani gods. So she's put a spouse to be exalted, the gods which she's entrusted and given power, assembly, a spell of the assembly of the gods, entrusted and said and made him sit and uttered the spell. So pretty much you got this one up here. Remember the guy that's making all this stuff? Umar Hubar is forming all things. She's sitting and saying, hey, I want the spell to go like this. She's telling him how she wants everything to be created. She wants this stuff to go against him. Said, sit down. She even says, make him sit, saying, I've uttered thy spell, and assembly of the gods, plural, raised thee to power. Okay, so she's raising something. She's conjuring up something that may magnify the name over all of them. So kind of like angelic beings. And they even said, ... Anu gods, Elohim. Okay, multiple gods. Okay, that she's giving power and reign over the earth. She hath given him the tablets of destiny. Wow, the future perhaps? Or destiny? On his breast she laid them, saying, thy command shall not be without avail. Okay, so that means this spell is going to go take place. And the word of thy mouth shall be established. Okay, so it's going to happen, and this stuff's going to root. It's going to take form, take power. Now King you, thus exalted, having received the power of Anu. Bam. And that's the name of the gods right there. Anu. Right? This thing just formed all that. Now King you, thus exalted, having received the power of Anu. Does that not sound like Jesus right there? Think about it. And it makes me wonder if King you is not King Dumazid, which we just heard earlier. Remember? Know where it went. Dumazid was a king too. His name means king. King you. Nadumid. See? Two words similar. Nadumid, Dumazid. Fisherman. See? Tiamat, the mother. So what is she doing? She conjured up these spirits, created the tablets of destiny, breast laid upon him, tell him to sit down, raise thee to power, and trust thee with this power, exalted my chosen spouse. Bam. Spouse usually means other one, right? Loved one. Okay, does this not sound something familiar? You got a trinity going on. Look, you got her. She's the most powerful. She's a powerful bee. Okay? Tiamat. She is the top. Get that straight. Okay? Woman, not man. She creates the man. She creates the spouse. And it's much like a Holy Spirit, is it not? But then look who's real. King you. Who's King you? King you. King Doom, is it? Is that her son, or is that her spouse? So these are some things you got to ask. What is that? Does that even matter? Does that even matter? Thus exalted, having received the power of Anu. Bam. So you got the son. I'm guessing King Yu's the son. You got the mother. That's the Holy Spirit. And I guess the father, the power of Anu. See, and I'm not saying that's what these things are, but I'm correlating it to the Trinity of the Bible, because that's clearly there are three things going on here. There's the mother, there's the father, one of these two, and then the son. Okay? And that's how it always works. You get this Trinity thing going on, okay? Kingu, Anu, and Tiamat, okay? So keep that in mind. Decree the fate for the gods, her sons, saving. See that? Gods, her sons, saving. Let the opening of your mouth quench the fire god. Who's the fire god? We just said it. Anu, the powerful, receiving power. Anu. So this guy up here that makes everything, what's his name again? Umu Huber, right? Who formed all things. He got him, sat him down, because he's the one that can make weapons invisible. He can spawn monster serpents, sharp tooth and merciless and fang with poisons instead of blood. Okay, like those reptilian creatures, you know, the reptilian men. Okay, they can create those. So she says, sit down. I want you to utter a spell and symbol of the gods and have raised thee to power higher than it all. So he creates a power, and what does he do? She puts that power, in her son, Kingu, which may be singular or it could be plural. It could be all her sons or the sons that she feels deemed deserve it. I have no idea. Kingu, the kings of, the exalted ones. She's exalted somebody, and with the received power of Anu, the fire god. Bam. See that? It all makes sense. Whoso is exalted in the battle, let him display his might. I sent Anu, okay, but he could not withstand her. Nedumid, there it is again, Nedumid was afraid and turned back. But Marduk hath set out, the director of the gods, your son. Okay? So we have Marduk, the director of the gods, your son, to set out against Tiamat. His heart hath prompted him. He opened his mouth and spake unto me, saying, if I, your avenger, conquer Tiamat, and give you life, appoint an assembly, make my fate preeminent, and proclaim it in Upsukinaku, seat yourself joyfully together. With my word in place of you, I decree fate. May whatsoever I do remain unaltered. May the word of my lips never be changed, nor made of no avail. Hasten therefore, and swiftly decree for him the fate which you bestow, that he may go and fight your strong enemy. Gaga went and took his way. Okay, remember the minister, Gaga, and humbly before Lamu and Lahamu. Okay, there's those two, Lahamu and Lamu, which was a monster, right? You had two different monsters. It looks like Lahamu and Lamu. Okay, probably a male and female monster, perhaps. Then the gods, his fathers, he made apesians. And let's see. And he kissed the ground at their feet. He humbled himself. Then he stood up and spake unto them, saying, Ansar, your son, hath sent me. The purpose of his heart he hath made known to me. Okay, so his purpose of his heart has been made known to me. So his esteem or his motives has been made known. Okay, Asar, your son, hath sent me. Okay, so Asar sends him, and he knows the purpose of his heart has been made known to him. He saith that Tiamat, our mother, hath conceived a hatred for us. With all her force, she rageth full of wrath. All the gods have turned to her. Okay? All the gods have turned to her power. Okay? It's magnetizing that power, those gods. With those whom ye created, they go at her side. Okay? So those whom ye created go by her side. That's deep. That's deep. Remember? The one that created, Hubar, if I'm saying it right? And I apologize if I'm not pronouncing these words properly, my friends. I do not speak Sumerian. Or Sanskrit, excuse me. They are banded together, and at the side of Tiamat they advance. They are furious. They devise mischief without resting day or night. Okay, there we go with that again. They prepare for battle, fuming. and raging. They have joined their force and are making war. Umar Hubora, who formed all things, there it is again, who's formed all things, hath made in addition weapons invisible. She hath spawned monster serpents, sharp of tooth, merciless of fang, with poison instead of blood. She hath filled their bodies, fierce monster vipers. She hath clothed with terror. So we gotta keep in mind, we're seeing symbols here, okay? It's not like English, that same symbol popped up. If I knew what symbol it was, it's pictographic and it's kind of geometric, meaning like number, like alphabet kind of thing, Sanskrit. But they also have the pictographic too. And so in this, I could see them actually having a picture of this spawned monster serpent, can't you? With sharp tooth and merciless fang, with poison instead of blood, filled with their bodies. Fierce monster vipers she hath clothed with terror. So scary big things, these big guys, monster serpents. And you've probably seen those before, I don't know, in some of the ancient stuff. Okay, we're almost there. I'm going to see what my buddy here said. Some of what you say cuts off, so you have to cut it out into two. I don't know. He says, on is short for anaknu, which means we. Wow, so we got plural. We. On means heaven. That's awesome. So heaven, not just, because, so that would make sense now. Thank you for clearing that up, because when I watched on the first part, you got to go back to it because it was so cool. It's you'll see his name. There's Zechariah Stitchin, and he goes into how Anunnaki wasn't the word used, and they debunked it. This is not me doing it. They've actually done this in the Sumerian text, and Anu is the word, and it said Anu gods. So when you're saying now, you're telling me heaven or heavenly gods. Wow. And so we are clean. The name means we are clean and heaven is clean. Clean as in pure. Kai means earth. So we are here on earth. Heaven is on earth. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. You are right, Jason. You nailed it, man. You freaking nailed it. No doubt. And just if anybody questions Jason on that, again, I really urge everybody to go check out Jamar Milton's his last video that he just did, called "Breaking the Code," right? And let me see if I can pull it up because it's in the link description. I think it should be. It'll be called. It's called right there, code cracking. When you're in this link description here, code cracking. Sorry, I had my finger. Okay, so you see a lot of different links. This one's first off is the Sumerian text video or documentary. Very good to watch if you're into the Sumerian text. It's a new one, so it just came out. Code cracking, bam. And just like Jason said, he pulls this off with the language code.
Piece of paper handy, and a calculator would be helpful if you have it. But if not, you can always go back and forth, between your phones or whatever. But today we're gonna play around with these numbers, okay, and show you how the people of Kemet, how African people had a foundation that pretty much exposes everything, okay. And we're also going to cover the danger. You're going to see why it's dangerous to mess with other languages and try to paste those languages on top of what we did in Kemet, because it doesn't apply. So we're going to be exposing some things today.
Another thing I'd like people to ask and post below is he's like I think a Kemetic Egyptian expert. He knows a lot about Egyptology and stuff like that. But do you believe the Sumerian text goes further back than the Book of the Dead and the hieroglyphs of the Egyptian, tombs and whatnot? What's your thoughts? If you know, post below. I'd love to hear what people think, because I notice Jamara often, he doesn't go too far back into Sumerian texts. So that's kind of why I want to start reading them and learning more myself on both ends. And I feel they correlate very strongly. There are a lot of similarities. So I find that interesting. And I think they're both on the right page. I'm just being honest. I think they're connected more with nature of things than anything. And I'm going to show you. Listen to this. This is if you want to know the code, you can write this code down, and you can break down the word heaven and earth, and they're both one and the same. What do you see this?
So, first thing that we want to do is I want to give you the key. The key. And the key, anytime you're dealing with cracking codes, just like as a kid, when you used to be on the back of the cereal box, they used to give you a key, and this is how you crack the code of the word search or whatever you're trying to do to fill in the blank. You need the key. So I'm going to give you the key first and foremost. You're going to want to screenshot this, okay? This is the Lighthouse Code Cracker. This is the Lighthouse Code Cracker. I had to put this together last night. It took me a little bit of time on Photoshop. So I want you to screenshot that because I want you to always keep this. You're going to be able to utilize this for the rest of your lives, I promise. Okay? So take the Lighthouse Code Cracker. Okay? Screenshot it. If you can't screenshot it, then I want you to get a pen right now and I want you to write this down.
Okay. Seriously, folks, like, after you get done watching this or whatever you're doing, I mean it, click this and check this out, because this dude literally breaks down, and I'll just kind of skip ahead, the word heaven and earth to 23 and 24, and how it's 45 and 54, and how when you add all these numbers, guess what number can go into every single number? The number 9. And I'm not even playing with you. The number 9 coincides with just about every single thing. I'm not even playing. And then it actually, heaven and earth actually equal out with this code to 9. And I find that really just incredible. At first I was really skeptical about the guy and what he was talking about. I'd say a long time ago too. But now he even takes the astrological chart and breaks it down into 9 and where we're at, and with the water and the different numbers and how it goes into 9. So, and actually 3.14, the pi, how that's where they come up with the circle for the astrological astronomy chart right here. It's 3.14 or 15, okay, which also equals 9, okay, and that's where they get the circle. Where, like, God created the heavens and earth from nothing or none. He talks about that too, how it's nothing comes into existence and creates all things, okay? So this all ties together. Again, highly suggest checking it out. And then it talks about the sperm on Leo, which is the opposite of the Aquarius, which is Heru. So you see that the Greek mythology stole a lot of, I don't know if I want to say the word stole or borrowed. Well, however, I don't want to offend any, Greek, researchers and things like that. But when you go further back, you see a lot of the stuff was passed down, if you will, from the Egyptian Kemetic, view to Greeks and, on down to what we have today. Literally, the structure, calendar, everything we have today comes from the Egyptian Kemite type view. But does it even go further to Sanskrit Sumerian texts? We're going to research and find more. We're going to see if we can find more stuff that goes even further back, and let's continue reading. I didn't want to get sidetracked that bad. If you haven't noticed already, every one of these tablets are saying kind of the same story, but it's just changed up a little bit. So I find that pretty cool consistency, that why each tablet saying almost exactly the same thing. Yes, 9 is one of the most incredible things, and I'm definitely going to check that out about Dorothy Edie Seti reincarnation. You know what? I noticed there was a Jason A YouTube channel, and I'm not a real big follower, fan. My mother watches a lot of Jason A, and it's kind of doom and gloom, like end of the world stuff. I guess it's really suits Christian people. Whatever. There was one thing that was a scientific thing, and it talked about Jesus and someone reincarnating or something. And when you think about reincarnation, it kind of throws the whole idea of I hate to say it, like Christianity or Jesus out the window in a sense. And so we're just going to put that thought out there. I'm not saying anything bad about Jesus or any view here. I'm saying in some of the videos you find with the reincarnation, there was an instance, for instance, there was an example. For instance, it was in the hospital. A woman, I believe, died, and literally was confirmed dead. And she left her body and ended up on the top of a hospital what do they call that? Rooftop, and saw a shoe that was like a sneaker. I don't know if it was like a red sneaker, if I'm wrong or right, something like that. Regardless, it was a shoe, a sneaker, and she asked him, it's a woman, right? She asked the guy, hey, will you go up to the top roof, the rooftop, and check this out? And sure enough, whole story to it, short, there's a sneaker up there. I mean, of all things, what would a sneaker be up there? There's no way she should have known that, right? So that's just some creep things. If that's a true story, that's pretty fascinating, And there's a lot of occurrences coming out about reincarnation. I feel personally that there is more of that. You can check out the Ankh video on that, and you can learn which way to go when you die. Really, really good. Again, you go check out some videos on that, and how, like, when you die, to go follow the sunlight, go to the west, is it? You want to go to the west, or you don't want to go to the west, something like that. East. That's right. And there's a magnetic field and a doo-wop and all this. So, I'm not sure how much of that, is all, whatever. But it's something definitely to go check out, the Ankh, and what the energy of the Ankh is, and how it's set up. Like the circle thing, and then down, and then the cross. You know what I'm talking about? The Ankh. He uses it quite often in some of his videos as well. I just look it up so people know, like, what the heck's he talking about? An Ankh, like an uncle? It's a loop inside the arm. It's an ancient Egyptian symbol of life. That's what they say. But it actually goes a lot deeper than that. There's a lot of cool ones out there, dang. Yeah. It actually means a lot more if you go into it deeper. You have a woman here, and this is kind of closed. This is more like a phallus symbol, child, woman. See, and if you check out the Trinity video on Jamar's videos, it's really cool because it's eye-opening. It makes so much more sense that it's woman, the man, the woman, and then the creation of that, the child. Okay? So it's kind of like our Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, but you've taken the woman out. So again, go check out Jamar's videos, and you can learn that more, since we're on the topic of that. This is Ankh. Okay? And yes, those letters symbolize something you can read more about. That's really cool. So we need to know this stuff. That's why it's good to kind of get a correlative information, because we want to see, does it tie in with anything over here in the Sumerian text, which I believe it probably does. Okay, so we're almost done on this tablet 3. And if you notice, it's almost word for word. And each time we read it, we're kind of getting, we may have to read this. You may have to rewatch this a couple times and listen to it, or if you need it, I can send you a copy of this. You may want to read it a few times or listen over to get the story, to grasp its full meaning. It's good to read it a couple times, and so it's pretty interesting. And so let's continue on, I guess. We were at the part where I said, about decking them out, made lofty stature. Whoever beholdeth them, terror overcometh them. Their bodies rear up and can withstand. None can withstand their attack. So these are bad creatures, man. Huge, remember? So you had the gods, and then you had these creatures, right? And we see these in big, giant mold statues, that they took. And again, watch the Sumerian video I posted below, and you'll get to see all that cool stuff. Everything that we're reading about, you can watch in this documentary I posted in the link description from Zohar channel or whatever. Zen. Their bodies rear up, and none can withstand their attack. She hath set up vipers and dragons and monster Lahamu. So Tiamat's really mad at her sons here in all this. It looks like she's in vengeance, right? Creating these monster serpents. It sounds like, from what I understand right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows any further detail, that she is more of the creator, or she brings the ideas with the creators. Like she's conjuring these spells up that are making these things exist in this matrix in life, right? And that's where she's using some gods that have different powers. We could say earth, wind, fire, water, and so it's alchemical. And you gotta remember why I say that. It's because I know some Kemetic history of like Imhotep, who is he's an alchemist, and he's a chemist. He's the one. Oh my God, we're gonna put on our channel the video on where the pyramids really came from. You will blow your mind. I know I've always said if someone tells you that they know where the pyramids came from, they're full of it. We are going to show you literally how it's done. And I don't want to ruin the surprise because it is crazy. And I was very skeptical. I thought this was nuts. I didn't believe it at first. I swear I didn't. And I kid you not, this has been the best. I've heard all the explanations of the pyramids, how they were built. I've watched the stupid, excuse me, if you like BBC or whatever it was, Discovery Channel. I think that's ridiculous, some of the stuff they said on that channel. In fact, it's almost everything the opposite of what they said. So that kind of tells you it's closer to the truth. In my book, my opinion, that I think this view on the pyramids is the best explanation I've ever heard. And even we're going to tie in the giants. So we're going to put that on our channel, and I kid you not, you want to check this out. It's really a good one. It's probably the best thing I've ever seen. That and the Tree of Life one, we might tie that one in, and Mount Meru. I'm telling you, it's one of those mind-gasping things. They're just mind-boggling, and when you hear it, it just blows your mind. Like, go look up Mount Meru, that 3-hour special on that video. If you ever get time, listen to that story. That's crazy. That's some crazy, like, who the heck would write that kind of stuff, I doubt, it makes you wonder, did that really happen? Did that story really happen? Is this place really existing, or am I, out of my mind? It makes you wonder, it makes you want to go out and visit these places, it really does. And then you learn about the Antarctic Circle, Mount Meru, that there's over the edge, there's more areas that you can visit. I mean, it's just crazy, Go research this stuff. It's crazy. It is. We're going to put some of it on our channel and analyze some of this stuff. Okay, so we had the hurricanes, the vipers, dragons, the Lahamu. So remember, Lahamu is a certain specific monster. I'm thinking the Lahamu might have been that one with the big wings that looks like a big bull. I'm thinking that was a special creature. They post a lot of them. So it's Lahamu and, what is it? Lamu and Lahamu. Okay? I'm thinking it's a male and female creature with the wings. Because you got the dragon viper thing and then the Lahamu. Okay? So you have specifically, we've seen dragons. There's totally dragons. There's the totally viper guys. And then Lahamu. So which one would that count them out? You had the scorpion men. Right? So we've seen them. The raging hounds. That could be them too, though, raging hounds. You have the fishmen, which we've seen that, and the rams. Of course, the rams, that's what I was thinking, rams with the wings and the tempest. So we might have to take these words and then go find the pictures and the big statues and see which one fits each one best. That's what I would say. We can do that. That seems pretty simple, to fit, kind of match everything with this. They bear merciless weapons without fear of fight. Okay, here a command. Look at this. Who commands her? Who commands them? Like little dogs? Her commands are mighty. None can resist them. See that? So who's controlling these beasts? She is. Tiamat is. Okay? After this fashion, huge of stature, hath she made 11 monsters among the gods who are her sons. So she made among the gods who are her sons, clarifying that her sons are the gods, the kings, the exalted ones, the Ana gods. Ano, what you would call Anunnaki, what it's called. Inasmuch as he hath given her support. Inasmuch as he has given her support. Okay? She hath exalted Kingu. In the midst, she hath raised him to power, to march before the forces, to lead the host. Okay, see, that part wasn't in the last tablet. You see that? So there's some tablets that add extra twist. So this one's new. To march before the forces, to lead the host. So he's leading. Okay? Kingu is the leader of all these god powers. To give the battle signal, to advance, to attack, to direct the battle, to control the fight. Remember it said that word for word in the last tablets. To battle signal, to advance the attack, to advance, blitz, to direct the battle, to control the fight. So every aspect of it is being controlled. Unto him who hath she entrusted in costly raiment, she hath made him sit, saving what? Saying what? I have uttered thy spell. in the assembly of the gods. I have raised thee to power. The dominion over all the gods have I entrusted unto thee. Bam. Said the same thing before. Okay, so dominion over all gods I entrusted thee. So she made one God that had power over all. King you, right? Be thou exalted. Is that right? So far, that's what I'm following here. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows out there, because we're going to get into Elil and Enki and all that, I imagine. Here's King Yu, which I believe is Dumazid. He's the one that reigned the longest, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? You have, be thou exalted, thou my chosen spouse. So this is her chosen. So she created her lover, man. She created her spouse. He's a bad dude, too. She created him as the most powerful God. So she's entrusting him with dominion over all the gods. Now, it doesn't say that she's given him all the power over her, though. So, I don't know. Leave that part blank for them to find out, I guess. May thou exalted my chosen spouse. It's pretty powerful stuff. It's a wild story, y'all. May they magnify thy name over all of them. And then here it is, Anunnaki again. But again, like Jason said, he said it was Anu, which is heavenly, right? And then you can say Naki, but like we said, we had figured out that word is under investigation right now, but it would be gods or Elohim, Anu gods. So, like he said, Anu heaven or earthly gods. So you start to see this is why they're on earth. They're earthly and they're heavenly. What's that say about us? We're pretty special beings, aren't we? And if you go to the Kemetic Egyptian view, we're actually made out of stardust. Wow. That's some deep stuff there, too. Okay, but look when you take that name. I love it. Jason's over here saying Enki, Nike. Get it? Absolutely. And look here. Anu gods, Naki. Bam. That's where it came from. So Enki, Naki. So I see a correlation here. I'm wondering why. Why? Okay, why for the Naki? Anu. So is someone trying to say that Enki is the god of all gods? It changed it to Inky. Oh my gosh. Inky. So you're saying Inky. I'm going to put this up here so people can see what you wrote down. You said Inky equals, and I did that correction thing. I'm sick of that. Nike, or Inky equals, Nike, which is another god. Even in our Hebrew book, our names book. Let's go to that real quick. That was pretty crazy. Nike is, I'm believing, a Greek god, if I'm not mistaken, though, as well. Oh, shoot, this isn't it. Isn't it Greek? And you go to the Hebrew names meaning book, which you get from us when you get a Hallelujah Bible. The Hebrew, here, word, you go to Nike. There's all kinds of cool Hebrew words in here. M-N. Okay. Niger, Nimrod. Nimrod means rebellion. And a lot of the Bible actually, absolutely is allegorical. You can read in Galatians 4:24. It says, in reference to Hagar, the mistress woman to Abraham, and then Isaac and Jacob, that that whole story on Mount Sinai is allegorical and not to be taken literal or not to be taken serious because it's illustrative. Pretty amazing. When you actually read the Bible, you begin to see much of it's allegorical. Okay? A lot of Christians and people will be upset with me saying that, but it's the reality. Even like the Nicolaitans. Look, Nicolaitans. Okay, Yahushua in the Bible, you can call him Jesus. He says, there's nothing more that I hate than the Nicolaitans. Remember that? That was in Revelations. Nicolaitans. I hate the Nicolaitans. And he talked about the synagogue or congregation of Satan. Those who call themselves Yehudim, or Jews, but they are not. They are the synagogue or congregation of Satan. Now, Nicolaitans are followers of the Nicolos, or Nike. Now, you see that asterisk mark? In our names meaning book, when you go back to the back, whenever it's got like a letter or something, like there'll be an asterisk, there'll be a G sign. See the G there? So then there's Nicolaitans, G. Okay, so you have the Nicolaitans is G, and then Nike has the asterisk. So we go to the back, which is interesting. You go to the very back, and you get this with the Hallelujah Bible. Okay, the asterisk means a pagan deity or of pagan origin. Pagan deity or pagan origin, okay? The G is of Greek origin. So you have Greek and then pagan. And keep in mind, the only thing about pagan you need to really know about is like right now today, whatever is the mainstream religion, say it's Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and Muslims, all that, okay? Those are the three main religions because it's the most popular, okay? Anything that falls outside of that those beliefs is what you call pagan, okay? That's all it is. It's not the top popular craze to be controlling your mind with. It's not the top religion. So the ancient Greek religion, Nike was the goddess who personified victory. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. That makes sense. And but I wonder, what do you think about all from the Greek, the Egyptian, the Latin, the Persian? Where are they getting these similar stories? What do you think? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't like to discredit any culture because I feel every culture is beautiful. It brings so much to the world. I know some people will be offended. For instance, people who research Egyptology, Kimite history, they'll be offended by what the Greeks, Latin, what we have today in English, is an evil or a twisted language, a bastardized language or view. I know some people will say, how dare you say that, because they're beautiful, and we have all the arts, and the museums, and the artifacts, right? And again, we're non-biased, we don't want to start crap, we're not trying to say anything, we're just putting it all out there. But where did it all come from? Let's get honest, let's get real. If this goes back, and they can predate, this goes further back than, 7th century BC, that's the Neo-Assyrian just right there. And what you said here, you said something about Nineveh earlier. That's what I thought, Jason. I'm so glad you clarified that. It all stems from Sumer, which is the Sumerian text. I'm so happy that I've been saying that, and I've had people, that's why I'm wondering about some people who just focus on the Egyptian side. I mean, it's lovely what, the Egyptian side is. It really is, all this stuff. But then you really, Kemetic history and all that. But, then you start to say, the Sumerians, the Aryans, Sumerians. And that's what I talked about earlier is I believe the thing you saw when we said Sumerians and versus Aryan, when you say Sumerian, let's just look it up, Sumerian, Aryan. And we looked up African Sumerian, okay? And where I'm getting at is because you can have the black Aryans, okay, then we see these blonde hair, blue-eyed Aryans, what have you, okay, that says Sumerian, Iran and all that. So how is it these lighter skinned fellows that look similar, this guy looks like me, that's my cousin, that right there, my ancient cousin, or great grandfather, whatever, Sumerian, okay? In that area, wouldn't they be dark-skinned? See, this kind of blows the whole black Hebrew Israelite thing out of the water, and it really does. It does a good job of it, because actually there are Aryan kings, and I showed it earlier in this video. There's a good one. There's the Mount Meru symbol, which is known as the swastika of truth. Got to do the history on that. Got to do the research. Incredible stuff. The tree of life, all that is amazing, folks. You got to take the time and really research this stuff. Don't be afraid to question what you believe. Don't be afraid to question what you were taught to believe. We are the only ones to survive this area. Something's causing our kind to die before their time. Can you help us, Lord Inky? See, and there's that word again, Inky, which if you move the N over, and you move the I over, look at the word. It's kind of like Nike. Just like Jason said, he pointed out earlier that Inky equals Nike, which again, they like to move things around. This is like the sacred geometry. You can check out the code, how things are inverted. Things can be moved around backwards, inside out. And we showed you the code of that earlier. So It's like that's how they hide it, is they just change it up. It's kind of like when an artist takes artwork, or say a piece of music, and they often say, art is actually one artist taking another artist's work and refining it as their own is art. I don't believe that. I like to be unique. I'm an artist myself. I like to play piano, keyboard. I've been playing music for a long time. I almost don't even like to listen to other musicians play, because I don't want any of their melodic DNA to go into my mind, my brain, and I don't want it to get mixed up with, got the new shirt on, I don't want it to get mixed up with what my music is, my playing ability is. I don't want it to hinder it, my unique flavor. I don't care if people like my music. I don't really care if people enjoy it. It's not really about that. To me, it's not making a record sale or being number one. To me, it's about the feeling. It's therapeutic for me. I love sitting and playing my keyboard, playing my guitar, singing, expressing myself, whether a million people see it, 2 people see it, or I just see it myself. I used to think I was playing for God, but now I know I'm strumming and playing the reverberations, the vibrato of my soul and with the universe. Literally tapping into this nameless one, this unconditional consciousness that has really just opened my whole, just my entire pineal gland, my mind, my soul, my third eye. It's open, and it's like I'm evolving more and more every day. I love it. I can't express that more than enough. And I know nothing. Now I look at it. At 29 years, I thought I knew everything. Been taught all this information to wake up and realize that I know nothing. And this is all just a matrix. None of this matters, literally. And it goes so much deeper than that. And you got to tap into it. It's a spiritual experience thing. It's nothing you can really clarify. I can't tell you who made us. I can't tell you when we die, what happens, where we go. All these unanswered questions. I can give you a briefing explanation why I don't believe in the Bible fully, take it literal. There's a lot of different reasons for that. So we thank you, my friend Jason, my brother, for clarifying that it all stems from Sumer. And that's really is incredible, and I'm so glad and honored that we can start studying on this more and more from what we have. I know a lot of in the Baghdad and a lot of the museums, the artifacts they ransacked them, stole it, hid it. They took much of it and put it in museums. Why is it they don't let my people have any history? They don't. The last thing I'll just say that I am aware of, that when you had Hitler, and I don't want to go deep into it because I know there's a lot of people who don't know the full story of Hitler, the greatest story never told, and Hellstorm. Check it out, Hellstorm. A lot of people never checked it out. They don't understand it fully. It's a lot to grasp. And when we don't have a lot of time to research these things, we just take whatever story was given to us by these people. That's all I'm going to say, these people. Because I'm not going to say their name live. I'm not going to do that. I'll let you figure that out. That little sneaky guy here in the corner. Okay? That guy there. Okay, these guys, this is what I don't like about the Black Hebrew Israelites. I'm going to get this straight real quick. If anybody's watching on that, Black Hebrews, I want to tell you, you guys know something. This pale Arab here, that's what I call them, pale Arab, from the Edomites. You have the black Edomites, whatever, the Saudi Arabians. They lightened their skin tone. They sure did. That's what they look like now. You get them darker, they kind of look like a... You know what? We should do a print out of this and put some dark skin over this and lay it over the pale Arab here. Okay? You know what that is, don't you? It rhymes with Yehudim, you. It rhymes with new. Okay? That person has taken a lot of the history and culture and mixed things around. Okay, this guy here, these people, which a lot of the Black Hebrews call white man, is not the white man. Okay, let's get that straight. I mean, I'm pretty certain about this, that these are different people. Okay, a lot of people call those guys, whatever we just saw, serpent people, And when you get into the story of Anunnaki, that's how they put it. And I think they portrayed it that way with stitching and stuff like that because they want to hide the reality. You see how this guy's hiding? You see how he's hiding in the back of all this history here? See him there in the corner? You almost missed him, didn't you? There he is. Okay, so what is he hiding from us? Is he hiding our culture? This is what I'm learning. It's a mystery, okay? It's totally a mystery. They don't want you to know about these blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryans. Guess what? Have ruled every nation on earth since the beginning, even from Egypt, Sumer. They should have put Sumer over here. Peru. And then it makes you wonder about Meru, Mount Meru. You know, anybody who controls Mount Meru controls the world, right? India, Turkey. Look at that. There's even Turkish. Okay. So what does this say? The Sumerians, a native Aryan blue-eyed people from the Middle East who created the Sumerian civilization and a first written language, were genocided by race mixing with Semites. Oh, shoot. There it is. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to get real with you for a minute. We talked about not the whole Hitler thing. We had a picture of him earlier. I don't know if they're going to put it. There's the swastika. And my theory, I'm just going to say it like this, because again, we are not racist, we're not into bigotry, I'm not Nazi, not pro-KK, any of that, okay? None of it, alright? I'm the most lovable, peaceful, peace-loving dude you'll ever meet. I do not care about, I love the truth, okay? We're the ultimate truth news, we're the ultimate truth warriors, okay? The Aryans, what they call, Hitler said was the master race, all this. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I almost wonder if he either was set up or he did this on purpose. We'll never know the true story of the not. I'm just going to get real. It's the real story will never be fully known by us, us peons. I can tell you the story we're fed and told throughout our whole life is not the true story. First of all, we do not know everything because the truth is permittable. It changes. One day, in 1 year, it could be this. You could believe in God. The next year, 10 years down the road, 50 years, it could be something different for you. Okay? Truth is permittable. It's permittable. Okay? It can change. It's not perpetual. Like the Bible says, God is perpetual, which means what he said today will be forever. Okay? That's what they want you to believe, right? But Hitler, what he was doing was he rounded up all the Aryans. And then what happened? Europe over here, what did they do? They warned Hitler to pretty much stand down and all this stuff. And Hitler did not want to go to war, according to what he says, his word. Okay? And the central banking system wanted him to pretty much sell out and let them take over their central banking system. Okay? Hitler declined on that because he thought it would be a nightmare, right? And that's what caused a war. The Aryans and the German people backed him up as it was a national move. What we see today is going on with Trump. Very similar. I don't really see too much of the difference, to be honest with you. But, you know, getting to it, I believe he pretty much rounded up all the Aryans, which you call SS soldiers, called them the master race, and he pretty much got them where they bombed the heck out of them. America helped, and even, this is a joke, even, you know, Japan would have backed them up, okay? And get this, Hitler, we'll get this fact straight. Hitler had Jews in the Nazi army, military, okay? There were Jewish people, there were blacks, and there were Muslims. You can look that up, okay? There were absolutely Jewish, black, African, Negroes, and Muslims in the Nazi army. Here, I can show you this. Let me show you. Nazi had Jews. Okay? So just kind of show you. I should probably say Nazi army. It's actually a book. Nazi Jewish militants. That's what I could put. I should remember the name of the book. And I don't know. Maybe it was Hiding Places. No, that was that one book we all read. I don't know. I have to find it because I did post it, by the way. Is this it? The Nazi Islamist and Making of Modern Middle East. I think that was possibly it. Yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't really want to get into this, but, you know, because it goes so dark, deep, and way deep into history. Rothschilds, of course, yes, the Red Shields, these people here. I'm just not going to say their name anymore. Everybody knows that's aware, and if you're not aware, then you're not going to care. Thor's child, wow, Thor's child. So, oh, there you go. I've heard so many things that Hitler was a Mason. You know, it's just crazy, all the stuff. I can say this. What I believe is he bungled up all the Aryan people, got all my people destroyed. And guess what happened? Go watch Hailstorm, folks. What happened, Jason? You know what happened? They destroyed all the SS soldiers, all my Aryan brothers here. And then, what happened? They raped, there they are. You see that woman there? Let's see if I understand. I wish to proceed. There's a blonde woman there, that Nordic. Let's see if I can pull that up again. You'll see right over here. That woman there, it's just an example. They have actual video and actual journalist proof here that the Nordic women, the Aryan women, were raped, abused. They were tortured repeatedly. By who? Not Germans, of course. These were German women. They were being raped by Turks and Mongols, Russian. And I'm not going to say their name of who else. But they raped the women up to 10 times a day in and day out, calling them whores and names like that. Unbelievable. Okay? Again, that's the video you go watch, and they censor it heavily. I would suggest downloading it if you can, because look how difficult they make it to watch it, because they say it's inappropriate. Anyways, I don't want to go this far off topic. We're going to go back to the Sumerian text now. It's a good thing though, it all does tie together, so I'm glad we did this, and I appreciate that, Jason. I do. I was gonna go, see, I showed you, look, there's blonde hair, blue eyes, and them. Look at that. Come on now. Why don't they want us to know about these Aryan people, you know, at all? They don't let us have no history. They've taken the history from the Negroes too, I believe, the African. You know, I believe Hebrews are all made up too. I want to tell you, y'all, go check out, again, Mr. Milton, okay? And go check out his Hebrew Israelites, who the real children of Israel are, okay?
As above, so below. So everything that you see in the
That's right. As is above, as below. I tell you, you can find some real good wisdom from this dude. Truth about Christ, giants, pyramids, horoscope, secret code, cycle. Okay, I'm going to find it. I know it's around here. Ferment. Dang it. It was, there's the Hitler swastika. That's one of them. That's really good. Let's see here. Dang it. Flat Earth, truth, science fiction. Just a lot of interesting stuff. But for all you Hebrew Israelites, because I know I got a lot of them, some of them at least. I don't know why it's not popping up. Maybe if I go in his search and say Hebrew. I don't know if he maybe even used the word Hebrew, if he used Israelites. The real children of the Bible of Israel, the Bible exposed. This is a must-watch. I must watch. I must watch. Because he goes into how the black Hebrew Israelite story is a flim-flam, plagiarized version of who they are. Those people are actually Kemetic Egyptian Africans, okay? The whole story of the Bible being these Hebrews, all that, yeah, they were black Hebrew Israelites or whatever. The stories have been stolen over and over and over and over again, just like we see constantly. Do we not see the same repetitive thing, that it all ties together constantly? I mean, that's the first thing that I have acknowledged. You know, I don't know about you guys out there. I know Jason's definitely very with it. I wanted to read up the rest of that Aryan one, dang it. This one. Let me just finish that up. So we know the native Aryan blue-eyed people of Middle East who created the Sumerian civilization, first written language, and they were genocided by the race mixing of Semites. But of course, you know there's some Sumerian Aryans left, you know that, which Hitler, I think, considered them to be some special race. But like I was saying, they all got blown up. They raped their women. Why did they do that? So they could impregnate the Aryan woman. Did they not do that? And then when that happened, those were known as Ashkenazi news. I'm going to say news. The Ashkenazi news. The Ashkenazi news. And they got sent from there with the thing called Project Paperclip. The Germans are already there, went to America, right? So this all ties together to the Sumerians. Don't think it doesn't. Absolutely does. Yes, Hellstorm, must see. Another great movie. I mean, I don't want to give you too much. You definitely got to see that one. And I'll have to send you this one, Greatest Story. I mean, if you are any historian at all, Greatest Story Never Told. And I actually have this on my channel. If you type in Greatest Story Never Told, Eric Plott, it is not my story, but it's a whopping almost 6 hours long. Greatest Story Never Told. And I mean it, your eyes will be in tears. You will cry your head off. I don't care who you are, if you're Jewish, you're German, This shows you the real history, word for word, detail for detail, minute per minute, month per month, year per year. I kid you not. This is literally the greatest story never told. But I'm going to just warn everybody, it's one of those ones, you got to have a whole 6 hours, or if you could break it up, but it's one of those videos you got to take note. It's not like Hellstorm. Hellstorm, in my opinion, is the one to watch first. Hellstorm, because that one, it goes through it more dramatically. It's a well put together documentary that I believe was filmed in Germany, written by Germans. Both these films are written by Germans. I've had a lot of hell for having these on my channel, by the way. I've almost been taken down twice for just having this movie, the documentary, and the other one, gosh, where is it? It was man, what was it called? So I mean, like, whenever the Aryans start to get together, they get scared. Like we can't have our own people. That's what they're doing. They are literally trying to swipe us off the earth, but they can't get rid of us. I guess, I don't know. Hitler, the man who fought the bank. That's another one that's really good. War is out, truth is in. MoringaQueen.com. You can check that one out too, because it goes into this one that I was also given a great deal of hate by Alerta Jodiada. Unbelievable remix. You've probably seen this one. War is out, truth is in. But I'm not sure if this really goes into all of what we're talking about, but these people do. Anyway, I'd rather not play this on this but I encourage people to check out because it is really deep, and I just don't want to put that type of content on this segment right now. Yeah, anyway, baffling. 3750 BC, okay, 3750 BC, the Assyrian pre-Semites, okay, conquered a proud and superior Sumerian Aryan. There it says it. You know what? I've never been told that. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've been one saying this for a long time. I figured that out because when I saw that guy, I said, oh, that's an Aryan. And then later, long and behold, Sumerian Aryan. I've been saying that for a while, and there it is written. Someone's figured it out too. Obviously, I mean, that's the history. But, I mean, the names are so similar. It's pretty obvious. It's a given. Let's see here. The first urban civilization in the historical region of southern Mesopotamia, modern-day southern Iraq, by lending them money at interest, putting them under usury, impoverished and replacing them with inferior foreign races who would work for less money and demand less. Do you understand now why the news of today strive to race mix to impoverish the white people worldwide? Wow. Well, there it was said. That wasn't me, y'all. You didn't hear it from me. You heard it there. That's just, again, that's just a view that's out there. I didn't say that, okay? I'm actually just reading information. We're just scalloping through the web, rummaging through information. Okay. I've seen that picture. Land of the Gods, Sumer. Okay. You know, so it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Do we go further back? Are we the grandfathers of the Egyptians? Let's see here. The Zuzu, Shamu, Credo, Mutwa painted the image of Nordic extraterrestrial figure Mazugu, as they called the African legend. These tall, white Nordic beings were widely reported in Africa long before the white Europeans first arrived. See, so the white Europeans are different people. This is what I've been trying to tell people for years. They call them Caucasian, whatever. We're not related to that. But where did we come from? Where did Caucasians come from? Can anyone tell me below? I'd love to know. Quite a mystery for me, honestly. The tribe's people believed that the European settlers were returning Mazugu, and they called them by that name. Wow. Cool. I don't know. I don't get too into the spooky stuff, the aliens and all that. If that's Cleopatra there. I don't know. Wow. Okay. So there's the physical appearance of the gods. I got some different views out there. Interesting. Sumerian equals Aryan equals Persian. Well, that escalated quickly. No kidding. Wow. So I guess it's very, very mysterious. We're still learning more and more. Let's go finish up that reading, I guess, and look at that video. Yeah, definitely, Jay, man. Check out that. I think you'll really like that video. Thor's Child. Look at the spelling. It's an acronym. It's an acronym. That's why they think or believe in royal blood. Rothschild, Thor's Child. I definitely will. Thor's Child. And I know an awful lot of Thor's. So I wonder, so the Rothschilds actually come from Aryan blood? I know a lot of rulers. Look, Trump, King Trump himself is an Aryan. Hillary was an option. You've got, I think Queen Elizabeth is. You have a lot of rulers of the world who are still ruling the earth as what you call Aryan or blue-eyed race, right? I find that interesting. I do. I find that pretty fascinating, actually, because you can see who is the other one? It's one of the princes. I think Prince Charles or William. You know, you could probably look that up. Royal, whatever. And, I mean, people in rules of influence. I see that they've taken them over. We can call it Ashkenazi, you know, Jewish. They've lighted themselves out, and that's why I believe they raped they like it said, mixing with the Nordic woman to mingle their blood, their DNA in with the Aryan, and then act like that the Aryans were the master race and created this racism thing. But the truth is, Hitler created the master race by taking these people and mixing them with these Turkish Khazarian news. You know what I mean? So I think that's possibly what happened. In all actuality, my view is yes, I actually watched some of Gerald Clark, you know, and the only thing is, I just feel like I don't know. I actually don't know. That's why I'm very skeptical with anybody. I'm even skeptical with myself. So if Gerald Clark ever watches me or whatever, I'm definitely not saying anything bad about him at all. I think that it's great to have a great deal of information, but I get skeptical when people who write books in general, because I know it takes a great deal to actually get into the publishing of these books and things like that. There's one guy who does excellent videos on the Aryans, unbelievable stuff. I wish if I could remember. He wrote the book with the blonde girl on it. Gosh, what was their name? I have to look that up for another time and to check out the whole God tree thing and everything they're saying. Mainly, I just get skeptical with any type of person who is what I would say could be a gatekeeper, possible shill, at all. Alex Jones, David Icke, you name it. Anyone who's a public figure at all. I have to stray away, take everything. I listen to a lot of this stuff, I'm going to be honest, with a grain of salt. And I'm definitely going to check out the Ancestry tree. I'm glad that I didn't offend you, because I mean no disrespect to anybody, not even Alex Jones, because I know I woke up because of people like Alex Jones and Alex Jones. So, you know, I think that that's just how you know, it's a good stepping stone, definitely. And Gerald Clark, yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I definitely suggest people to also, if you ever want any info, go to just type in Gerald Clark, go to videos, and he's got a lot, like Who Still Came to Earth. In fact, Gerald Clark was the one that helped me wake up to a lot of this with like Doomizid. Excuse me, I think it was this one. Gerald Clark Cuneiform Tablets. The Real Name of Jesus. There it is. This is one you got to check out, guys. Bam.
Vatican, buried, Oxford translated, ancient Sumerian cuneiform tablets uncover the Tower of Babel, its rise and fall, the real name of Jesus. This is going to blow your mind, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely incredible. My mind's still on cloud nine. It's going a Gugaplexian times Gugaplexian, infinite miles. And this is absolutely amazing. And these...
it's exciting. I like his personality and character. He's fun. Guy, check out The Real Name of Jesus, Tower of Babel, predates Bible, Vatican buried, Oxford translated. Yes, like what he's talking about. Again, I got so many referrals. Watch this. And what the Vatican doesn't want you to know about Jesus, watch this. Okay? These are good things to connect the dots with. That's one thing. No matter what, no matter who he is, I don't care. You know, Leak Project, go check them out. Take it for a grain of salt, but connect the dots. Take what information is there and run with it, you know, with whatever you can, okay? Seriously, we're on a hunt here to find more and more information that we can find. I want to know, too, where did we come from? Who are these people? Where are we going? Da-da-da, okay? Oh, there's Gerald Clark and the Emerald Tablets. Wow. And we'll be reading all these, and I think pretty much what we're doing is we're just going to read everything outright. Like, we're going to read all of the you know, all the different tablets and, you know, the Emerald Tablets. So, man, we've learned a lot. Thank you so much for your input, Jason, and contributing. This is awesome. Yes, Leap. Okay, yeah. The guy on the screen, yeah. His name is not Gerald Clark. You know, I thought for the longest time that was Gerald Clark. Who is this guy? I feel bad. I don't know. His name is... I thought he had said his name. I guess he's just Leak Projects, but he does have a name. It's like Mitch something, or... I just feel like getting his name for some reason so people can go look him up. Or they could just look up Leak Projects. He's in an awful lot. He's a funny guy, too. I haven't got to see a lot of his stuff, but I've seen some videos, and he's just... From what I understand, pretty fair and balanced. We try to be fair and balanced just as well, and I think he is too. Gerald Clark is actually a different fellow, if I'm not mistaken. That's Gerald Clark, the guy with the hat, and he wrote the book Seventh Planet, Mercury Rising, which is still really cool stuff. Definitely really cool stuff. Go check it out. Gerald Clark's channel. It's called Gerald Clark. Aloha, friends and family, and hallelujah. It's here right now today, the Hallelujah Show. This is the second day of the second month. Or no, it's the third day, excuse me. And we're here live to kind of finish up the Sumerian text. This is Sumerian text part 3, okay? And because we're going to read all that. Check out the second segment. It's posted below. And really, there's a lot of amazing directory links posted below. So I really encourage everybody to go and look through some of them, click on them and check them out, because we pick the best links throughout our fan page and put them together and compile some of the best stuff. So with that said, thank you so much for being a part of the Hallelujah Show. We're gonna get this show on the road and get finished with the latest on the videos. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna start to share this. Okay. thing. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We love that you're here at the Hallelujah Show live. We're going to go deeper into what was probably one of the best segments, part 2. So if you didn't see part 2 last night, watch it, and especially watch the last hour where I go deeper into my really special extraterrestrial or spiritual experience. I don't like to put a label on it, but we go deeper into this. And I just want to show people, when you look up the word Aryan, this is how bad they have our people, the Sumerians. They make us look like we are a bunch of thugs and criminals. This is pathetic. When you look up the word Aryan, they got us with a bunch of tattoos. They want to make us a menace to society, like we don't fit in. You know why? It's because the truth. You see that swastika? Go look up Mount Meru. It stands for the truth. They don't want you to know. They're hiding something grave, something deep. They don't want your eyes to see. There is a deadly weapon, an attack, and a threat on your life. And I'm here to expose all these threats. But not only that, we're going to give you the solutions. We're going to give you the solutions to how to overcome these deadly threats. It's amazing, though, when you look up Sumerian Aryan, the kings of the world pop up. The Sumerian Aryans have ruled every single country and nation on the board across the world since the beginning of time. Who's hiding this information? Has anybody ever researched chemtrails? Has anybody researched the spraying of our food? Did you know there's viruses in our organic produce? Make our tomatoes look red even though they're not ripened? Did you know they can hybridize a plant to make it grow faster but not meet any of the human developments for human consumptibility? That actually everything, whether it's certified organic or conventionally grown, is actually poisonous to the human body. You are under a threat in this country. I'm not making this up. Welcome to the Ultimate Truth Warrior X. We're here live, and we are exposing and reproving of all the deception before our eyes. Go back to where the history began. This is the Sumerian text, the Emerald Tablets, the 12 Pyramids. This is where your Bibles come from. This is where your Quran came from. This is where your Torah came from. So now we're going home. We're going back home, baby. We're going to finish tablet number 3 here. We didn't finish this. We're going to go all the way into tablet 4, tablet 5, which is short. Tablet 6 is even shorter. Tablet 7. And then we're going to finish up with the epilogue with Marduk. Now, I'm not sure if everybody followed the segment last night or not, but you know, if you didn't, I would go check that one out because it's important, because we're tying in this important history. Like I said, why is it that the Sumerians are considered ugly people to this society? Has someone taken over that does not like these people? The Aryan Brotherhood? And have they created these groups, these cult type groups, to make these people look bad? To make Hitler look heinous and evil? Was Hitler a part of this conspiracy? Is he the one that's taking these Aryans and making them look like they are menaces to society and evil? Or is our system and culture set up to actually be against the truth? And when you stand for the truth is an ugly thing to these people, and they try to remove the truth. That's what the truth is. It's stranger than fiction, isn't it? They don't want you to live for the truth, and whenever you do, you're considered ugly, heinous. You're considered a criminal. You're considered a conspiracy theorist. You're considered a threat and a terrorist to society and to the norms of cultural enslavement, consumerism, social engineering, grooming, and conditioning. To not want this. What is this? Oh, dare I say that symbol stands for truth, luck. Mount Meru is what you all need to go research. This is what they're keeping from you, folks. The North Pole. You see that? There's a whole other world up there. Or dare I say, over there. And when you research it, there it is. Bam. That's the Garden of Eden, folks. That's what Hitler was trying to take over. Remember all them visits to Argentina? The hollow earth going underground? This is what they don't want you to know. The earth is not a spinning ball on its axis, spinning millions of miles per hour throughout the galaxies. Go research Mount Meru. Look it up on YouTube. Watch some of the videos. Again, I support Kevin Wesley, and I support Jamar Milton. He talks more about this as well. Go check out Kevin Wesley as well. Okay, so we know these are the Sumerian Aryans here, right? And you know, here's an organic banana, for instance. You know, if you go down, and if I want you to see the solutions I have posted below, because we do have some videos on the Plan A. I call it Plan A because I know there's a lot of people out there that work hard, get where they're at in society, and really they try to level up in the world, and they work hard to do that, to live in good neighborhoods, big houses, to help, you know, provide for their children and family, to enhance, to advance. And the sad part is, look at your organic banana, that it doesn't matter how high you get in society today. There is a threat on your life, a deadly toxic poison, and it's worse than any nuclear weapon or any war in front of us could be today. So it's almost like they've got you from every angle. Even if you think that you're going to the military, you're fighting and all that, and that, oh, that's going on, they're doing that, then you know, that's fine. I'm going to stay here and not go into the military, not enlist into the war, and I'll be safe. You know, my military will protect me. Protect you from what, you may be asking, right? Border Patrol, all that. People say, oh, we need our military, our border control. You know, I could go way deep on that and how the borders are actually set up and how they have planned thugs and gangsters throughout every border throughout the world. They do this to start stuff to keep the sheep in the herd, to keep them inside the cage. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. But what about our organic food? What about food in general? You know, you can get vegan bacon, so you don't have to kill any animals. You can eat it straight raw. This stuff's good. Now, check out the deadly weapons below, Jamar Milton. He talks about it too. Talking more about the food and how it's off and how they're actually trying to kill you. That even if you go vegan, it's not going to be the best solution either way. So you think you're going vegan and you're just fine, right? You think you've figured it out. That's one part of it. Yes, we are not carnivores, we are not omnivores. And until I see someone run up and grab a squirrel and consume it, the hair, the fur, the guts, the brains, everything, will I ever believe that we're even omnivores? If you put an apple in a cradle with a baby, and you put a bunny rabbit in the same cradle with the baby is going to eat the apple and it's going to play with the bunny rabbit. And if your kid eats the bunny rabbit, then I have concerns for your child, because I've never seen such a thing. So, what can we do? What solution do we have if even going vegan and eating health conscious isn't necessarily the solution? I want you to go check my video. Okay, here's all the links. I want to kind of go through them real quick. You have this is the second part of the Sumerian text video, which we put together. Okay, the solution A. This is it. When you click solution A, it's going to take you to these fine pictures, paradise, right? I've never really gone too deep on this, but we have access to land and different things that are very affordable. That if you can manage to make it your life goal for your children, your family, I kid you not, the best solution, this should be solution plan A, is to sell everything you have. If you have gold, silver, all that, bitcoins, did you hear about bitcoins, what happened? It's unbelievable. And I can share that with anybody who wants to know about it. You may not have seen this on bitcoins. It'll blow your mind too. But this solution A should be where you sell everything and you go here. Out of all the years of researching, this has been the best solution. I hate to say it, it is the hardest thing, and it just really saddens me and distraught that this has got to be the solution. You may think this is a poor third world country, whatever. Get with me, and I can teach you more about how. Look at that; those are whole food organics right there. This is what the solution is. Yes, apply your vegan diet, whole food, raw diet. And go and eat real food from nature. Mangoes off the tree, bananas, fresh nuts, spinaches and veggies, all that stuff. And I want to tell you something about this place we're talking about. There is the lowest crime rate. We've already talked about, check my link below about Zupa Chill Keepers, and you'll see how I talked. It may sound really, people may think it's anti-American, but I'm going to tell you something. The safety and police is unbelievable. There's no crime like we think that would be in Mexico, all that. Do you not realize that America has the highest crime rate in every way and shape and form? The police kill more people than they save. And I don't want to dog on all police, because I believe that the men in blue and, our military, I believe initially these people are really doing and fighting for a good cause in their heart. I really do. The problem is, like I said, everything is backwards and upside down. And I am of the Aryan culture, who we always stood for truth, okay? The problem is, good is evil and evil is good. And so with that said, the culture in itself is what is pulling people apart from going either crazy, mad. There I am at the ruins, and Mayan ruins in Belize. And, so I think that when you think about it, there's only one way you can do this, is get out, is the solution, to get out. If you know all this stuff, they're spraying chemtrails, barium, strontium, and aluminum in the skies. I'm sick of us, whenever you talk about it, it's like saying, oh, this person is a molester and is abusing this child, or abusing you, okay? And you continue going in that house, and you continue to do these things, then what do you expect? What do you expect? You leave the abusive house, the abusive environment, right? And that's what I'm trying to tell you now. We know they're poisoning the water with fluoride and hydrosilicic acid. Do you not see everybody getting sick around you? It is a chemical warfare in our food. It is across the board. The air levels are lower. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom and scare people. This is the reality. This is the scary part about researching this stuff that we found. The soil and B12 is completely stagnant and dying. The air conditions, like I said, don't allow the soil to be good. Wow, would you believe that? Dream Theater Afterlife. Go check out Dream Theater, amazing band, by the way. I wanted to also tie in all of this with the what we were talking about, Final Fantasy VII, and how this ties in with the Sumerian text. Okay, because we had that, and here it is, I think. Yes, everything we talked about is in this story here, and I grew up with this video game growing up. I loved that game, played it for hours and hours. Most of my life growing up, I loved that game, and we're going to compile all the movie scene clips, as well as the actual movie. You can check out Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Very good. It correlates very well with the video game movie scenes, and you can watch all the movie scenes of the video game. We'll probably compile them and put them all together. And the only reason I say that, and we're going to go see this, I'm going to just read the rest of part 3, is that the story is literally ancient, and they're getting it from the Sumerian text story, which is baffling if you think about it, because that was one of the coolest stories I ever heard. And here, sure enough, every story comes from this story. Okay, that's why they call it the greatest story ever told. And I would say it's the greatest story never told, in the sense that people don't ever hear it that much. So we're trying to tie this all together. I know it's a lot going this way, that way, and this way. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. And the thing is, it's too late. I have to tell you the truth. I have to go full-fledged. That yes, you can live off these bananas, the nuts, and all that moringa. This is an excellent solution right here, because it's got every nutrient you need, and we have hundreds of videos on this. I put a link below if you want to purchase. That would really help us. If you purchase something, it's affordable, from $18 to $48, and it goes up. When you buy 4 pounds, we get 6 pounds. You get 10 pounds for free. So, and this is all wild crafted, non-sprayed, jungle crafted, whole foods, straight out of nature, pure, no additives, chemicals, ETO, ethylene, cleaning solutions and sprays, just like every other company you see out there. See how live and vibrant green that is? It's magnetically bioavailable. It's going to do stuff for your body, and just like these suckers here, which I have, the monotonic silver and the balance, which has gold, platinum, palladium, ruthenium, indium, and osmium, all of them. Okay, and I bring that up because I love the way they make me feel. With the moringa, I can take like one of the veggie caps. I just took actually a couple veggie caps, and I do that in the morning, throughout the day. It carries me all the way throughout the day, knowing that in the morning you don't need as big a breakfast as you think you do. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do like 5 to 7 or even more drops under the tongue. Let that sit. You can also take it with organic purified water, juice, what have you. Shake it up real good and keep it away from microwaves, computers. Keep it away from anything that's got some sort of electromagnetic thing. We actually ship it to you in aluminum, and that's to actually block that, any type of even radiation or electromagnetic force. Taking it, especially the gold, the monotonic mix, Tom Mix, which you can say hashtag mono Tom Mix, and if you look that up on Facebook especially, you'll see all of the different kinds we have and what they do for the body, how they are superconductors, because these are live, rich, that was the silver. They're live, rich superconductors that actually we are what you eat. So when you consume these noble metals, which can last months if you take it sparingly, and it's super power, ultra mineral, because and superconductors, because when they absorb into the skin, into the DNA and the blood as you're flowing and your heart's pumping, that lymphatic system carries all these nutrients to the brain. It actually can decalcify and detox the pineal gland. That's your third eye. Your actually detox your blood, any thing you have in your fat cells, the bones, because that ends up where it's stored in your muscle, and it pushes into the fat, your bones structure. This is why people end up getting different things like osteoporosis or rheumatoid arthritis, things that are no fun, no good. So we have so many solutions, and we've been doing this for so many years, and I feel like someone's got to do it, step up and be real men, real women who are honest and doing it. And so when you want to live it, you don't die it. That's pretty much the primordial source. Okay, so that's the main point. And stuff like portobello mushrooms, you can get your protein. People say that's what we're going to be eating tonight. And it's lovely for dinner. A big portobello mushroom. What you notice is your human physiology changes, and as you become, you would say, a raw vegan, a whole food. I call it a livit, whole food, plant-based livit lifestyle. I feel supercharged and full of energy. Some days are a struggle, just like anybody. Some others more than others, and less than some. We got these struggles. Whenever you see the sun out, the sun is out booming today, and it was very nice heat, that energy from the sun. Whenever you see that, 2 o'clock or something that's right there in the middle of the window, go and just soak up that sun, absorb it. If you got to, take your shirt off or, sunbathe. Grab that energy, that's free energy from the sun, and you can absorb it through your eyes and all that stuff. It's really good. You need to do that at least 30 minutes to 2 hours truly every day, okay? And go outside, take your shoes off. Put your feet and plant them in the ground. Get grounded, okay? I don't care who you are. And you could say, oh, don't do yoga and all that. Stretch then. Just go do a stretch. You know, get the lymphatic system, jump up and down like a shake. And just shake, 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 you know? So, and speaking of free energy, go check out in the directory, link description below. There's a link called Free Energy from Tesla. I kid you not, we found some really groundbreaking, things on the on Nikola Tesla and his free energy, which you can get. You can get all that in the description, because it's going to show you how to do it for anybody out there that's engineer mind or likes to do experiments. But see, this is the real solution here. It's pure, real organic. And I can tell you, everything's off in the stores today. So yes, we need real organic. See, it comes an equation of quality, and you're not told about these things. You're told, oh, vaccinate's good, vaccination. People get touchy on this, and you get to the point where you don't even want to help people anymore because you can't. People don't want to listen. And if they knew the solution initially is to get out, nobody wants to hear that. We're all Americans. We've been brainwashed, propaganda fed to believe a particular way of living, and I'm giving it all to you. I'm not holding back. I'm beyond a health coach. I'm an ultimate truth warrior X. We don't hold back, and we tell the truth like it is, the true truth. That's what we call it. Because you got all that fake news out there, whatever. We ain't fake news. We're the true truth Jew network, whatever you want to call it. We can connect all the dots by, again, I'm going to do this disclaimer. We are a non-biased, non-dogmatic, non-religious perspective, where we put the truth out there for those who want to research, who want to see more without being offensive or getting down on anybody. The truth, we got to put it out there. And with that, check out our new site on, I got the link below, and you can just, it would really help us out. You just quickly check out, you can get the caps, Moringa shampoo, we got the maintenance with the Moringa oil, the large box of Moringa there, and then the Moringa Queen soap bar. If you check out and do that, we ship it to you, give us 2 to 3 business days, maybe 5, depending on what one you get. If you get the bigger quantities, 4 pounds, and you get 6 pounds for free, 10 pounds. These specials, they help us when you purchase, for us to continue doing what we're doing, enhancing and telling the truth and spreading the awesome word of, not everybody needs that, and sometimes we just give enough hope for the shining sky, above. That's just how it all is. And I wanted to also say, we talked about in the second segment. The second segment really sets the pavement down for, these topics. Like, did you know they're African Aryans? The Sumerians we're talking about are closely related to the Negro. That we're like family. See, now this is a lot of the story we see with the fish of Jesus. That's Dumazid. That's where they get the fish. And that's where the story we read last night about the fish and these monsters that the Tiamat created. So you have this woman who's the ultimate energy or power, what we would call God or Lord, we thought was a man, but it's actually more of a female entity. So it makes sense when you think about how we've been lied to and everything's complete opposite. She created with the Humazid, what's his name again? We have it written here. Then you have Dumazid, Umu Hubur, who formed all things. So she used him to do that. And, started creating these gods, these god deities to go against her sons. And there was King Yu, who she exalted and became her spouse. So if you didn't check that out or you missed that, definitely go back to part 2 and watch it all the way through. This is some really important stuff. And pretty much we're trying to scope out and see the lie that's fed to us. So we see the original story, we see the alternative story that they give us. And then you can go look at, all that, and then look at the history, and then you can put it together, piece it together finitely, and then infinitely you can connect the last piece by looking at the opposite and using your mind, spiritually guiding yourself, and ask yourself, ask the universe, ask that unconditional consciousness to guide you, to say, you know, okay, where did the moon come from? Where did the sun come from? How are we stardust? You know, where did all that come from? How did that happen? And so we have the Egyptian Kemites, who have a lot of natural history. Their language is natural. Things they talk about is natural. Okay? So you have the Afro-Iranian true Hebrews. You know, you have all these different words. And when you talk about genealogy going way back, it is really difficult to actually, you know, trace back all the original humanoid people, you know, the Caucasians, the Aryan men, women. I know that the Aryans are not really treated the same as what you'd say with the normal Caucasian, because I really don't believe we're related like people think. This is actually more normal when you see Hitler had black folks, Negroes in the military, and I wanted to show that book on that actually Hitler had a whole section of Jews. He had black Negroes. He had what else? He had Arabs. There were a lot of people who wanted to join Hitler because he was sending a similar message of truth like what I'm saying. And I'm not going to defend him or say anything more about that. I know it's very touchy. We had a buddy, Jason, who posted below, and I put all of what he told us in the description. Really important read. Check it out in the description. About how I suggested to him to go check out Hellstorm, the movie. It was blocked. So I'm not sure if it still is or not, but it's almost like because I shared this and gave a review about Hellstorm, they removed that video, which is exposing the real genocide of Nazi Germany. So what we might do next time is I can go live on the screen. Yeah, look here. This is what it's saying now. Following content's been identified to YouTube community as inappropriate, offensive to some audiences. Wow. Certain features have been disabled for this video. Commenting, suggesting videos because the video contains content that would be inappropriate or offensive to some audiences. Unbelievable. So if you want to know how you can download videos on YouTube, I'm going to teach you a little cheat code. You go up here. This is a shortcut. You take all that out and you say PWN and don't do anything else. Bam. Then you go over here. Move that off. You say save from. Okay. It takes you over here. Hit this little thing. Let it drop down. Okay. And you can get the extension, which is really cool, but you don't have to. It says we recommend it. Actually, it says the download this link cannot found. So you actually cannot download this video. Wow. They're not allowing you to download this one, but I believe there's one more. So this is the time, folks, and I believe I already have it. And it's on Vimeo as well. Here's the only, that's 43 minutes. That's not the full, I don't think that's the full one.
On the floor, it's frozen.
Let's see here, Hellstorm. This might be it.
Once again, my guest is...
No. Well, we may have it, I know I have it in one of my hard drives. Here's one. A lot of people have downloaded it. Here, there we go. Alright, you see how this one didn't have that? Because this went under the radar. Because it's got 12,000 views. See, the other one, when you have millions or 100,000 views, you can't do that. So you hit PWN on the YouTube. Click that. Okay, you'll be here, save from. You'll go here, hit this arrow here. Okay, you wait for it. And this is with any of our videos too. If you want to download any of my videos, you do the same thing. PWN on the YouTube. You'll see here it says download browser. In browser. You'll see what quality you want. And hit the top one there. It's lower quality. Bam. Okay, so it takes you here. And you can actually download it right here. Download video. That's one way of doing it. Okay. So that you can actually do that to just about any video on YouTube, and I encourage people to do that. So I've got it, and look here, it's up in the download thing. See, there it is. So that's all you have to do if you want to download it. Sometimes it'll have the link here, and it just jumps right into your folder. So you can do that with any video. I suggest getting Hellstorm before they remove it. is a classic video of truth. Again, we're about the truth. So I rank Hellstorm probably the ultimate truth warrior movie X of the year, if not the century. Okay, everybody needs to go watch it. Same goes with the one we have on our channel called The Greatest Story Never Told. It's a good 5-hour video. Okay, we are going to jump into the cuneiform Sumerian text. We're going to start right here, finish where we were at. Okay, we're going to go right into it. This is the middle where we left off. Okay, we're talking about Talmud and all them. The Anu gods, Naki was Nike. That was a word that got pushed in there by the Greeks, but it used to be known as Anu gods. Okay, if anyone knows any information about Sumerians or Aryan text, go ahead and post below. If you know any information about ancient Egyptian Kimite information, go ahead and post below. All right, so let's go ahead and read. So we are going to also go to after this one, Final Fantasy VII, and how it correlates with this. And we already talked a little bit on the solution. If you have any questions about what solutions you or your family would need, let us know, and I can help guide you and direct you for that, whether it's health, whether it's leaving the country, whether it's renouncing citizenship, how you can overcome your debt and how you can get out of that, and actually how you can, unvolunteer yourself off of your birth certificate, say you don't have to pay any debt, and that there's certain things you can do that you can get out of this loophole. For instance, income tax is actually illegal to pay in many cases, and it's nowhere in our Constitution. There is no law saying you must pay your tax, and even if you were to be arrested for it, after that they'll pay you for arresting them unrightfully and unjustly. So there's a bunch of bullies, and they're called Phoenicians or phonies, who originally started the system that you live in. America is a corporation. It is not a country or a deity of that. So these things they're doing is they're punishing you because you are under a birth certificate. You are under their law as a citizen or individual person, not an individual corporate entity. Okay, so we're cargo on their ship. They own the land, and because you live on the land, you pay the duties and fees, the tariff, the tax. And these words all go trace back to Greece and all that stuff, okay? And you initially can opt out of this, unvolunteer per se, because you volunteered in when your parents signed your birth certificate, you were a born citizen, all capital, as you heard that before. That is actually a really true statement, and people don't like to hear it. And just like our flag, the United States of America flag is in wartime, so we are not in a peacetime. So in a sense, we're not in peacetime. We're a warhead corporation that is ready, and we do business to go to war. So we are people who are much like hitmen, if you think about it. And a lot of the system structure works based upon a structure that's very corrupt. When you, whether you join the military or you work as an LLC and a corporation, a business. So we're all kind of guilty of it, and we've been duped, whether we know it or not. It's just much like religion. They want to put you in a cage box, and it's part of the test of this life. But good news, when you die, if you don't have anything blocking you, no guilt, no remorse of that guilt or shame, fear, you can actually subside out of this and meet up with the real makers and create your own kingdom. It starts within. And you can reach that development now. And actually that's the goal of life. And if you don't, you keep returning back to this life, this misery. This is why it is set up to be the way it is, okay? Because they know this. And they're making money off of the destruction of the earth too, the world, the domination of such. And dare I say it, and I'm defending Hitler, but he was trying to create a world that was pleasant and peaceful and, sustainably, permaculture, healthy. He actually taught vegan classes in his when in school. He would teach vegan how to have a healthy vegan life, how to eat off fruits, veggies, and nuts. He wasn't a vegetarian, but he was more so vegan. He didn't harm animals. He didn't want to go to war. Europe pushed him into it, and they started bombing Germany several times. Again, go watch the movies Hellstorm and The Greatest Story Never Told. If you want to know the real story, they can't arrest you for going and seeking the truth and knowing the real truth. So I urge you all to do that. Here we go. Sumerian Tech Tablet, tablet actually 3. Here we go. May they magnify thy name over all of them, the Anu gods, which Stitching calls Anunnaki. She hath given him the tablets of destiny. On his breast she laid them, saying, Thy command shall not be without avail. And the word of thy mouth shall be established. Now Kingu, thus exalted, having received the power of Anu, okay, that's Anu the god, decreed the fate of the gods, her son, saying, Let the opening of your mouth quench the fire god. And that's Anu. Okay, and then you have the female Tiamat, that's the Holy Spirit in a sense. So all this we've learned about the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, is kind of inverted backwards. The fire god is like the spirit here in Anu. And then Tiamat is like this the actual God in a sense, Tiamat, and the Son. So you have the Son, the Father or the God, okay, because she created her spouse, the God, okay, and then the Son, because the Son was a creation of those two. I sent Anu, but he could not withstand her. Nudimid was afraid and turned back, but Marduk hath set out, the director of the gods. So you have the director is Marduk, of the hierarchy of the gods. Your son, the director of the gods, your son, to set out against Tiamat. His heart hath prompted him. He opened his mouth and spake to me, saying, If I, your avenger, conquer Tiamat, and give you life, appoint an assembly, make my fate preeminent, and proclaim it. In Upsukanakyu, okay? Upsukanakyu. Remember, we looked that up. That's a real place. Seat yourself joyfully together. With my word in place of you will I decree fate. May whatsoever I do remain unaltered. May the word of my lips never be changed or made of no avail. Hasten, therefore, and swiftly decree for him the fate which you bestow, that he may go and fight your strong enemy. Lamu and Lahamu, remember we wrote those names down here. They're monsters. So you have like a female and a male monster, I believe. Heard the cries aloud of all of the Igigi, which is the elder gods. So you have Igigi. Igigi is the elder gods. Wailed bitterly, saying, What has been altered, so that they should. We do not understand the deed of Tiamat. So nobody can understand the mother, Tiamat. What's she doing? And I'm going to show you how she ties in with Jehovah from Final Fantasy VII, which is the mother as well, the mother's cell. Okay, Tiamat, creation comes from her. Then did they collect and go. The great gods, all of them, who decree fate, they entered in before Asar. They kissed one another in the assembly. They made ready for the feast. At the banquet they sat. They ate bread and mixed sesame wine. The sweet drink and mead confused their... And then there's nothing there because it's missing. They were wholly at ease. Their spirit was exalted. Then, from Marduk, their avenger, did they decree their fate. Okay? So then Marduk, which is, remember, he's the director of the gods, their avenger, did they decree the fate. Okay, so they didn't change. They decreed their own fate with that one. And we're going to have to roadmap all this again, entered before SR. And, look all these, write it all down and have a story for them and put a video together for everybody. And so now let's go check out Final Fantasy. I want to show you how much this ties together with the live stream found in the video game. This is Bahumeghagen. He's the kind of the spiritualist guy who floats around and almost like he's not even in the physical realm, he's in the spiritual realm. Now, the Japanese really did a phenomenal job on this storyline, all that. But now I see where the story comes from, as it's elaborately been, exquisitely traced back to the Sumerian text. Now, they're going to put these planets up here to kind of confuse you as the firmament. These planets and stuff might be outside of the firmament, But this is actually symbolic of the 12 different chakras of the body. That's what these planets truly are. And that's their gods. The Greeks and the Romans and all that made these planets are actually their gods. Like Saturnalia would be Saturn, Pluto, and all the different deities trace back to the mythology, which was taken from Kemet in Egypt, but also the Mac Daddy of it all, the Sumerian text. That's where all these things come from. So let me show you right here. Here we go. Let's begin it. I'm not sure how loud this will be. Eventually, all humans die. What happens to them after they die? The body decomposes and returns to the planet. That much everyone knows. What about their consciousness, their hearts, and their souls? The soul, too, returns to the planet, and not only to the humans, but everything on this planet. In fact, all living things in the universe are the same. Everything, even your dog that died, anything. The spirit that returns to the planet merge with one another and roam the planet, or your cat. They roam, converge, and divide, becoming a swell called the life stream. So everything connects together to come to the life stream. Life stream, in other words, is a path of energy of the souls roaming the planet. Spirit energy is a word that you should never forget. A new life. Children are blessed with the spirit energy and are brought into the world. Then the time comes when they die and once again return to the planet. Of course, there are exceptions, but this is the way... we missed it. They return to the planet. But of course, there are exceptions, but this is the way of the world. I digressed, but I'll understand better if you watch this. So now he's going to show you the diagram of what the life stream is with the different planets, where they're the chakras, the gods. So this parallels perfectly with the Sumerian text we just read, and the different gods. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's that life stream. So all spirits, even your animals, like I said, your pet that died, your cat, the dog, the bird, whatever you know, it goes back to this life stream, this energy that can heal the earth, right? The earth is just a place, a landing spot. The spirit energy makes it possible for trees, birds, and humans. Not just living things, but the spirit energy makes it possible for planets to be planets. Keep in mind, planets are just stardust. That's us. What happens to the spirit energy were to disappear. Okay, if it disappears, this is what happens. Watch, folks. This is what's happening right now. This is what's happening to us. Okay, as we are destroying the environment, we're killing all this stuff in nature. The planet is dying. We become a cancer to the planet. Okay? It dies and it dissipates. It can't live. No one can live. These are the basics of the study of planet life. If the spirit energy is lost, our planet is destroyed. Ho, 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 ho. Spirit energy is efficient because it exists within nature. When spirit energy is forcefully extracted and manufactured, it can't accomplish its true purpose. You're talking about Mako energy yet, right? Okay, and on that word Mako, we figured out that word, when you move it around, you take it and you take that O and move it over, I think it was. Mako actually comes to, you move it over, you see that word Ankh? It's like Ankh, right? Life, right? And the OM is Om, which is the other word. Om is similar to Ankh. You move the O over here and it says Ankh and Om, life. So they've literally split it up and divided the word life. They Mako energy literally means to destroy life. It's the opposite of life. It's death, right? I remember in the last segment we learned that earth and heaven are one and the same. Heaven and earth are one and the same. So you can get to both. Okay, let's finish this up and we'll go to the next ones later. Everyday Mako reactor sucks it up, spirit energy, and diminishes it. See that? It's just like radiation energy. It's just like all the stuff we're doing. That spirit energy diminishes it, okay? It kills it. The Mako, I mean, opposite of life. Spirit energy gets compressed in the reactors and processes the Mako energy. All living things are being used up and thrown away. Okay? And not recycled back unless it's the life stream. In other words, Mako energy will destroy the planet. Is that not like nuclear energy? Is that not like the radiation? This correlates so well. It's unbelievable. There's the live stream. What the hell is that? Live stream. And even Cloud was an Aryan Sumerian. There's Nebulum, that's where he's from. Isn't that amazing? The place he's from is called Nebulum. Doesn't that sound a lot like Nephilim, the ancient ones? It's coming. The story has so much correlation to reality that we're not told. It was hidden in this video game made in 1998. Actually, the most sold video game ever in the history, by the way. So post below, what do you think the live stream is today? What do you think that spirit is? When a wind blows from the east, the south, the west, and the north, is that one wind, or is that 4 winds? Or is that multiples of more winds? It's just like to ask yourself, is there one God, or are there multiple gods? Unlearn what religion has taught you. Start there. Maybe you can heal yourself. Because I'm going to tell you something interesting about truth. Truth is the only thing that will heal. So that was it, folks. Thanks for watching part 3 in this, and actually, you've got to check out the live stream if you want to learn more about that. Final Fantasy Advent Children is a good one. Go get you something good to eat. Look at this vegan meal here. This is a what kind of mushroom is this? This is a portobello. This has got all the protein in it. It's like a steak. Go check out the Herbaceous Butcher. There's alternatives to whatever we're eating that's junk. The food is all off.
Called the river of life that circles our planet, giving life to the world and everything in it. The Shinra electric
Don't forget to eat some salad too, folks.
To use the live stream as an energy source. Because of Shinra's energy, we were able to live very comfortable lives. But wasn't that because we were taking away from the planet's life? A lot of people thought so. Shinra used their power to try and stop anybody who got in their way. Shinra had a special group of warriors called Soldier, and all of the soldiers had Genova cells put inside them. Genova was a calamity that fell from the sky a long
See,
time
that's
ago.
Tiamat. That's Tiamat. That's Tiamat right there. There she is, Genova. That's Tiamat.
Anyway,
She
there was
created
one soldier
everything.
named
That's her
Sephiroth,
son,
who was better than the rest.
Kingzu.
But when he found out about the terrible experiments that made him, he began to hate Shinra.
See, everybody hated
And
Sephiroth,
then,
but he was a good
over
guy.
time, he began to hate everything.
See, he's depressed. He hated everything.
Shinra and the people against them. Sephiroth, who hated the planet so much, he wanted to make it go away.
See,
And the people who tried to stop him. There were a lot of battles.
just like the
For
Sumerian
every
texts.
battle, there was more sadness. Someone I loved went back to the live stream too. And then, it came. The chosen day. In the end, the planet itself had to make the battles stop for good. The planet used the life stream as a weapon.
Planet used the
And
life
when it
stream
burst
as
out
a
of the
weapon.
Earth, all the fighting, all the greed and
It's the only way
sadness,
it could fight back.
everything was washed away.
Everything's washed away and it had to heal it. This can be our place right here in 2020.
Sadness
Coming soon.
was the price to see it end. It's been 2 years since they told me that.
Alright. Go check out Final Fantasy Advent Children. And in the video game, they have all the clips of the video as well. And if you want to know more, it's just like the Sumerian text. So, I'm not sure what this is. Promised Land. See, they even knew, these Japanese knew that the Promised Land was the life stream. That's where we were going next. When we died, we all go to the life stream if we were good people and not destroyed. Then if you were destroyed, you were part of that negative energy, that Mako energy. Okay? It's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to also subscribe to our channel, which is at Plott Palm Trees. You can go to Plott Palm Trees, right here, there it is. The channel, just type in Plott Palm Trees, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell, and so whenever we upload a new video, because when we upload a new video, it's good stuff on this channel. We don't just upload a bunch of stuff, you know, all at once. It's really thought-provoking and the full, you know, production. So, and thank you all so much for watching. This has been the part 3 of the Sumerian text, and we will be reading the 4th tablet next. Awesome. Shalom. Shalom. Aloha, everybody. It's the White Lion. How's everybody doing? Does anybody know what day it is? What a special day it is? Think about it. It is one of the special days where there's a new moon, right? I don't know if anybody's heard of that. So I got something really special. I've been telling people for quite a while that I was going to do this. I don't know what people are going to think about it, but we've got something special. Besides the new moon, I thought we would bring something new up. I'm going to share this, and I just thought it was getting that sunlight energy, which is pretty neat, and stuff like that. So welcome. And kind of wanted to update people on what we're doing and show kind of what's going on right now. Besides, there's supposed to be it's a time where there's two moons set up, something like that. I actually shared it, I think earlier. Some people have been sharing it, and I just wanted to kind of look at that sunlight. Isn't that nice? Go out. I'd suggest everybody go out and get some sunlight. Of course, take some moringa K. Okay, and I put the link description. Enoch. We got the whole segment series, and you know, I've just been recovering from a lot from you know, just this belief. You know, look at that. Even that's $300,000. Someone who can prove that we have to pay our income tax. Check that out. That's unbelievable. That we don't. There's no law saying we have to pay. And he did jail time for not doing it, but he got right out. They tried suing him several times, and they never won. So I found that interesting. Give it up for the superhero girl here. I don't know if I can say her name. Ahed Tamimi. Amazing. Go research her if you haven't. Standing up against the atrocity of Israel. Not going to get into politics again, as this is the Hallelujah show. We will be getting into a really cool topic that I've been telling people about, but we are non-biased. We are we are non-dogmatic, non-religious, pause this and read. This is one of my best testimonials, how we reversed HIV. Amazing story. If you can read that, suggest doing that. It's a really cool story. That's my favorite, one of my favorites out of the hundreds and thousands we actually got. Many who are self-taught far excel the doctors, masters, and backshores of the most renowned universities. Did you believe that? You know, and that's the truth. It's all this money wasted going into, and check this link out that's got this. It's in the link description below about the 1,200 testimonial reviews. These are the most recent cures that we have compiled together. Dang, you know, I don't see that new moon. I think maybe it's on the other. I don't know if I tagged. Let's go to Eric Plott. Check out Eric Plott. Add him. Dr. Moringa King is what people call him. See here. And don't forget to like this fan page if you haven't already. You'll always get a notification. Make sure to put the notification seal up so you get that. You know, it's crazy because I don't even see that new moon thing, but I've seen people share it today. It was way earlier in the morning. But what do you think we're going to be talking about? I kind of brought it up yesterday and I thought, wow, this is going to be a really cool topic. Content is not available. Dang, they must have removed it or something. How crazy is that? Dang, they sure did. Huh. Maybe it was getting passed around too much. See here, there's the new moon. Let's see, yeah, there it is. The Leo blood blue moon, I believe. Pretty amazing, huh? And every so often we have a rare celestial event dazzling all of us to make us realize that there is so much more to the universe than we can truly fathom. The total solar eclipse in Leo, the show, 2018, been offered a total lunar eclipse. Also, the sign of Leo on January 31st, which is cool because my buddy Jamar Milton, he's a cool guy. He's a Leo, I believe, and he's just been putting out tons of information. We're going to put a pyramids series together, literally where the pyramids came from, Sirius, and talking more about the giants from the Kemetic ancient Egyptian view. So, blue moon rituals, there you go. You can check that out. So anyway, and this is at foreverconsciousness.com. Got a whole thing of what to do. Cool thing here, right here. This is what we're talking about. Bam. This is the Sumerian text from Sanskrit. This is the language you see right here. It's Sanskrit. Okay, and it's definitely very different, but it ages further back. Many Christian theologies and researchers say it goes back 6,000 to 8,000 years, but it's believed to actually go out way, way further than that. Don't forget to check out the Moringa K. This is Moringa X, the most powerful herbal blend we have. In fact, I'm going to do some real quick before I get started in this. This is it. I know it's a wild cup. Look at that sunlight. We had filmed, and I got it on the vimeo.com/eplott video channel, the eclipse film with my camera. Okay, take some of this. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. That's my feel good for the rest of the day. Okay, I actually have the entire Sumerian text for tablets 1 through 7. Okay, and I'm going to share that today. The cuneiform text, and I actually want to show as well a little something neat about, you know, some people may have heard of Stitchin. In his work, he pretty much he has translated the Sumerian texts in the past as well, and it's believed that the way he's done it is incorrect because he's created like a religion around it. Again, it's kind of like what a lot of people have been doing, is they create a religion based around these ancient texts. They've done it to the Bible. They've done it to all kinds of stuff. And so what we're going to get into today, before we start reading it, because I've got them all transliterated, okay? Literally, the actual translation of, all of what we've been told, because we are reading the Hallelujah scriptures as well, which is the ancient Aramaic Paleo, Hallelujah Bible, which is supposed to be the most anointed and pure version of the Bible. And okay, so I'm sharing this around, and I should have titled it Sumerian Text. Technically, I wonder if I can change that. Let's see, edit post. Let's see. We'll call it Sumerian Text because we are going to read the first, Sumerian Sanskrit, let's say, text for the first time. Number one, we'll just say cuneiform. Okay, I've actually taken the time and really translated it. Okay, like serious. This is going to be exciting because it is said by many people the story are very similar. Okay, and I'm just going to show we're again non-biased, non-dogmatic, non-religious. We're not taking any specific perspective other than just being open-minded. And written text literature, earliest known electronic text corpus of the Sumerian literature, ETCSL, project of University Oxford, comprises of selection of over nearly 400 literary compositions recorded on source which come from the ancient Mesopotamia, modern Iraq, and date to late 3rd and early 2nd millennia BCE. The corpus contains Sumerian text and transliteration, English prose translations, and bibliographical information for each composition. The transliterations and the translations can be searched, browsed, and read online using the tools of the website. Funding the ETCSL project came to an end in summer 2006. No work is currently being done by the site or its contents. For more information, you can site map and check out more of that. By the way, I just want everybody to know that your Hallelujah Bibles have been sent out. And thank you for helping us out and supporting the Hallelujah Show with the Hallelujah Bibles, as well as all the Moringa. We have like the Ultima here. Oh, this one's a bit messy. That's my own batch. Have been sent out, shipped out. So if you order a couple, we have many full pounds of Moringa pure powders gone out, and the Moringa X, as well as all veggie caps have been sent out, and the Moringa Queen oil. So thank you all so much for that and all the support. Right now, that's kind of the update as well. That we had issues with our card processor, and don't want to, sound like the sore loser or anything like that, or just bummed out. But we've been hit hard because our information is groundbreaking. We're touching on topics, and we understand the history. We've researched very deep, find things that apparently we've kind of crossed the line of where we can go. What I've found is that usually when you do this, you end up somewhat stepping on toes in a sense, but that's not our initiative. Our initiative is to know the true truth, and that's what we do. Is we are thought professing, not a pastor, not a preacher, not a prophet, none of that. We're just actually reading and going further than where your conventional researchers go, and going above and beyond that. So. This is I want to show you because a lot of people had Stitchin, Zachariah Stitchin, his works, which I think he passed recently, have he has many books written on the topic, and he's actually incorrect. It says stitchingiswrong.com, and here let's just jump right into it here in a second. check this out.
As you can see, I'm here at the website of the Electronic Text Corpus of Sumerian Literature. I'm going to show all of you how to search for the term Anunnaki in the Sumerian literature. You'll notice this is maintained by Oxford University. The database has 400 literary compositions that it draws from. It's all the major epics, all the major sources. You can get results in transliteration, and you can get to English translations once you've searched. And I'm going to show you how to do that. You need to make a fundamental decision. You're either going to take Zecharia Sitchin's books and take his word for what he says about the Anunnaki, and he rarely ever tells you what text he's citing. Or you can go to this website, search the term yourself. You'll be able to go to this site and type in what I'm going to type in, which you're going to see me do. Search the text corpus for yourself, get to the data, and look all of them up. And I'm supremely confident that you're not going to find any evidence at all for the translations and the ideas that he puts forth in his books and says that are in the Sumerian texts. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is click on Advanced Search. And let me make this page a little larger. Here at the top. In Search For, you need to type in those letters exactly as I have them. This tells the search engine that it's looking for Anuna, and it's a deity name. Just leave form the way it is. After you do this search, you can come back and play with this a little bit and sort by keyword, and you're searching all the texts in the corpus. So once you've done that, just hit your enter key, and our search is populating. Take a little bit of time. Don't have a super fast connection, but we have 182 hits. So 182 occurrences of the term Anunnaki. You see in green, you're going to have the various spellings. So it even catches alternative sign spellings and text spellings, if I could say it that way. And you could just scroll down here. I've made a PDF of this search and put it on the website. The PDF's not really going to do you that good, or that much good. I'd rather see you run the search for yourself, because here on the left, you'll notice we have a numbering system here. If you see TR right here, my cursor's right at it, that means there's a translation available. Now the first one, there's no translation, because if we click through this, there's nothing to translate except the name. Right here it is. It'll pop up to the top when you click on one of those links. Right here we have the deity name Anunnaki. So there's nothing about the Anunnaki that's said. It's just a name in a list. But if you come here and you click on translation, this is a larger text. You can see we have an Inerta text. And right here at the top, lines 652 to 661, is our first hit, the hit we were navigating to, the Anuna gods. So this is how you use your search results, and I invite you, I challenge you to run the search, look up all the occurrences of Anunnaki yourself, and you'll find out that Zecharia Sitchin really is just not telling you the truth about the Anunnaki. He's making it up. And this is the best way to check for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. Run the search yourself. Look at the results. That's the end of this video.
All right. So as you see, that's very, very misleading and disappointing. Again, if that's true, as you know, if anybody's familiar with Mr. Sitchin's work, he's got some videos online that are mind-boggling, to say the least. And you know, it's one of those type of things. Are these individuals shill gatekeepers, shill keepers as we call them? And you can hashtag that. You can learn more about that. But what we have now, like we're doing with the Hebrew Hallelujah scriptures of the Bible, New and Old Testament, the Torah, we're just going to take and do the same thing as analyze the real Sanskrit from the cuneiform tablets. It's the epic of creation. a lot of people believe that the Bible originated from the story of the Bible. And so we are very open-minded, and we are not going to let religion or dogma intervene or interrupt and all that. We're just going to go ahead and read it all, read it forthwith as it was written in the Sanskrit. From Nineveh, northern Iraq. Now you got to keep in mind too, soldiers who went in to Iraq destroyed a lot of Iraqi artifacts and things like that when they were doing with the whole Gaddafi thing in Baghdad, which is disappointing because there's a lot of history that was destroyed and taken out of that. So this is one of the series of the tall, narrow, cuneiform tablets that tell the story of creation of the gods Apsu, and Tiamat out of the primordial waters. This particular tablet relates the episode of which the god Ashar summons the gods to celebrate Marduk's appointment as champion following his defeat of Tiamat. The younger gods disturb Tiamat and Apsu. Her husband decides to destroy them. However, before he can act, he is killed by the gods. Tiamat is enraged and gathers an army of monsters and demons and marches in revenge. The gods, gathered in assembly at first, are unable to face Tiamat. Eventually, Marduk, a young god, steps forward and offers to fight Tiamat in return for the throne of heaven. The gods agree that Marduk gathers his weapons. Tiamat's army is defeated and she is killed. From her body, Marduk creates the heavens and earth. And from the blood of the defeated giant, humans are created to serve the gods. Okay? There's a lot of this. It's amazing that correlates with the video we're putting together about giants and who they were. These giants were actually friends with, very close with the African Negroes. And I mean, really tight. Long story short, and we're going to get into a whole video production that's going to be put together on this, is the giants were destroyed by the white man of some sort. And I don't believe the Aryan, Sumerian white man, but the Caucasus white man from the mountain people. Okay, so bear with us. We're being open-minded and putting this all together. You say what you will with it. This is from the information we have. They didn't write things for no reason. It wasn't about fairy tales. And we even have cuneiform and pictographs of things from people who were just laymen, poor people too. We're not just royals, like, you see here written on big walls, or the Egyptian pyramids, for instance. Okay, so we have actual evidence to back up there were bigger trees. You can look up where there are no more forests. There's no more forest anymore. Look that up and watch that documentary, how actually trees were size of mountains. And why would that be? Well, to give oxygen for these giant type beings that were more realistically gigantes, which were mentioned in the Bible. And we read Enoch. So check out our Enoch series in Hebrew, where we read the Hanach, the whole book in Hebrew, and it's pretty wild because you begin to see, as it says in Galatians, the Bible is more allegorical, not to be taken literal. Okay, so again, just being open-minded and realizing this, as that's what even Galatians 4:24 or 24:4 says, in regards to Hagar and the Mount Sinai story. Okay. Then you begin to say what is allegorical and what is to be taken literal from the Bible. Okay, like if you look up King Dumazid, which we're going to look into, and which is the shepherd and the fisherman Dumazid, his story is very similar to the Jesus Christ story, or Yahusha. We'll also be looking at the book of Aquarius by Anonymous, as this is pretty wild stuff, and really it would be Heru. Okay. Very interesting book as well is called The Vegan Earth. Check that out. You can probably get a copy from me if interested. It's very, very interesting. It's given by an anonymous source as well. Alright, well, we're going to get into reading these tablets real quick so we can get this. I've been saying I was going to do this for a long time. We've been just backed up with, getting hit with having to get a new card processor and all that. So I apologize everybody that, had that happen. Bear with me. I appreciate your patience. And, we've been doing this for 10 years, fully knowing we're ethical. We have the top stars, top ratings. Never had a chargeback, never had a refund. So we're actually doing really good, and they've knocked us off our server on PayPal. They've done this to 4,000 other merchants. I dreaded the day I have to tell people about this publicly, because I'm not the type that likes to, have any confrontation whatsoever. But it's very unfortunate how they have taken down many merchants' accounts. Basically, they're starting to, and this may be part to do with the NDAA as well. There's something else going on with it's a financial martial law that happened back last year in September 30th, I believe, or something like that. And pretty much they were going to freeze people's accounts and stuff like that. They've actually froze many millions of dollars in PayPal. And I think this has something to do with it, is people who get too close to this or that, or start selling Ormus or monotonics, M-state orms, or even miracle herbs like plants like moringa and other superfoods. What we begin to see is they can limit your account with no appeal and for absolutely no reason. I have contacted a ton of people, top supervisors. I even have a video recording on my site. You can listen to me as I talk to the top supervisor at PayPal, and I've gotten actually a hold of John McCabe, I believe is his name, the one that owns PayPal. That's how high up I've gotten in actually emailing all these people and working very hard to come to a solidable solution that is, a good one. And I hate that this has to happen, because a lot of people's orders got frozen. This is the first time ever in business had to refund and ship out everybody's order, and kind of you're stuck where you can't be in business if you aren't able to access those funds. So I've pretty much been hit hard, but we're working on a new card processor and actually a whole new website. So that will be available soon. And thank you all so much for your support and keeping us up. Those who have that know who we are and how we are the real deal, and we do deliver what we talk about, whether it's the Hallelujah Bible. We have a wide range of different things and an array of different raw superfoods, which we bring here. I'm up in the mountains, so I don't always get good connection. So I apologize if anybody's texted me or emailed or called me and I'm not been responding. I've tried calling back many times, and just sometimes you get me. If we're in town, we have a better chance of that. So just let me know prior if you need to call me, talk about anything, whether it's the herbal remedy and things like that. And so I'll probably talk about this more in a different segment, but just letting everybody know everything is just doing just fine. We're gonna get through this, and we're gonna be right back on the same path. Remember, they blocked us before for years, and for no reason other than we're doing the Ultimate Truth Warrior X. That truth is starting to come out. We're talking about topics that no one else is talking about, then finding real evidence by just looking at the real evidence and not just taking shill gatekeepers' word for it. Okay, so let's get this one down and let's read this so we're not babbling here. We got the first tablets. Okay, here we go. And again, like I said, it goes all the way. This one should be actually a pretty short segment for the epic creation. Okay, first tablet. Here we go. When in the height heaven was not named, and the earth beneath did not bear a name, and the primal Apsu, who begat them, and chaos, Taimut, the mother of them both. Their waters were mingled together, and no field was formed, no marsh was to be seen. When the gods none had been called into being. When of the gods none had been called into being. Okay, so no gods. And none bore a name, and no destinies were ordained. Then were created the gods in the midst of heaven. Lamu and Lahamu, okay, write those down, were called into being. Ages increased. When Ansar and Kisar were created, and over them long were their days. Then there came forth Anu, their son, Asar and Anu, and God Anu, Dumidid, okay, Medumidid, no, it's Nudum-mud. Okay, so Nudum-mud, which is like Dumazid, very similar, from whom his fathers, his begetters, abounding in all wisdom. He was exceeding strong. He had no rival. Thus were established and were the great gods. But Tiamat and Apsu were still in confusion. They were troubled and in disorder. Apru was not diminished in might, and Tiamat roared. She smote in their deeds. Their way was evil. Then Apsu, the begetter of great gods, cried unto Mumu, his minister, and said unto him, O Mumu, thou minister that rejoicest my spirit, come unto Tiamat, let us go. So there they went before Tiamat. They lay down, they consulted on a plan with regard to the gods. Their sons, Apsu opened his mouth and spake, and unto Tiamat, the glistening one, he addressed the word, their way. By day I cannot rest, by night I cannot lie down in peace, but I will destroy their way, I will. Let there be lamentation, and let us lie down again in peace. When Tiamat heard these words, she raged and cried aloud. She uttered a curse, and unto Apsu she spake, What then shall we do? Let their way be made difficult, and let us lie down again in peace. Mamum answered and gave counsel to Apsu, and hostile to the gods was the counsel of Mamu gave. Come, their way is strong, but thou shalt destroy it. Then by day shalt thou have rest. By night shalt thou lie down in peace. Apsu hearkened unto him, and his countenance grew bright. Since he, Mamu, planned evil against the gods, his sons, he was afraid. His knees became weak, and they gave way beneath him, because of the evil which their firstborn had planned. There they altered. Lamentation, they sat in sorrow. Then Ea, who knoweth all that is, went up, and he beheld their muttering. Okay. About 30 illegible lines. So there's 30 illegible, non-readable lines right after this. Okay. But then it begins. He spake, he hath conquered, and he weepeth and sitteth in tribulation of fear. He shall not lie down in peace. Apsu is laid waste, and Mamu, who were taken captive, and thou didst. Let us lie down in peace. They will smite. Let us lie down in peace. Thou shalt take vengeance for them. Until the temptest shalt thou. And Tiamat hearkened unto the word and bright God, and said, Shalt thou entrust? Let us wage war. The gods in the midst of for the gods did she create. They banded themselves together, and at the side of Tiamat they advanced. They were furious. They devised mischief without resting night and day. They prepared for battle, fuming and raging. They joined their forces and made war. Habur, Tiamat, who formed all things, made in addition weapons invisible. She spawned monster serpents, sharp of tooth and merciless of fang, with poison instead of blood. She filled their bodies. Fierce monster vipers she clothed with terror. With splendor she decked them. She made them of lofty stature. Whoever beheld them, terror overcame him. Their bodies reared up, and none could withstand their attack. She set up vipers and dragons, and monster lahamu, and hurricanes, and raging hounds, and scorpion men, and mighty tempest, and fishmen, and rams, bore cruel weapons without fear of the fight. Her commands were mighty, none could resist them. After this fashion, huge of stature, she made 11 kind of monsters among the gods who were their sons, inasmuch as he had given her support. She exalted King Nu in their midst. She raised him to power, to march, to give the battle signal, to advance to the attack, to direct the battle signal, to advance to the attack, to direct the battle, to control the fight. Unto him she entrusted in costly raiment. She made him sit, saying, I have uttered thy spell in the assembly of the gods. I have raised thee power. The dominion over all the gods have I entrusted unto him. Be thou exalted, thou my chosen spouse. May they magnify my name over all them, the Anunnaki. Okay? And now you got to keep in mind this translation said Anunnaki. This is what we're coming to. And it's supposed to be different, like we just read. So this is something interesting to know. There's one that's a story that's created kind of a religion. And then there's the reality. These were Anu gods. Okay? And she gave the tablets of destiny on his breast and laid them, saying, Thy command shall not be without avail, and the word of thy mouth shall be established. Now kings you, thus exalted, having received the power of Anu, decreed the fate among gods his sons, saying, Let the opening of your mouth quench the fire god. Whoso is exalted in battle, let him display his might. And that is tablet 1. We will continue to tablet 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the epilogy.